Good morning, Angeloja, one and all. That's right. Good morning. We are here early to talk about the Orville. We are the Orville, you guys. That's what the Orville is to me. It's not just a show, a series, a universe. It's a community, and we are that community. And we are only a couple months away from all new adventures in the 25th century. And boy, are they going to be the biggest adventures we have ever seen. You do not know. You cannot imagine how big this season and how fancy this season and how completely true to the heart of the Orville this season is going to be, you guys. I absolutely cannot wait. And I'm so happy that we can actually, I'm up early every day. I'm up early every single day. I get up about 5:30 or 6, never later than that. And I'm usually awake for an hour before that anyway, lying in bed going, okay, time to get up now. And being able to get here onto the interwebs this early means that we can start our day together. But some of you have already started your day hours ago in other parts of the world where the Orville fandom exists. And I want to say to one and all, welcome. Welcome to this amazing community, which, we're in the future. We're ahead of everybody else. We're a little bit better than everybody else. That's not my opinion. That's just a fact. We're the best, you guys, because we are Orville trained to be better. When we all do better when we all do better, and I truly believe that. And I think here we are doing better. So I want to see what you guys are up to today. What's going on? You thinking about the Orville? I'm always thinking about the Orville. ISHI Tea Earl Grey hot. Assure you, every single day I am doing something about the Orville, thinking about the Orville, figuring out stuff about the Orville. It's been my life for 5 years now, and you'd think I'd get sick of it. And no, my fervor for this universe just grows every single day. I couldn't eat as many hamburgers, and I love hamburgers. I couldn't eat as many hamburgers as in as many days as I think about the Orville. Chronicatra Productions official channel member, what is going on? How is your day going? It's 8 in the morning for you over there, Matt. Zanity Zuzu, what's going on? Kevin Scott, Curtis Tate. Let's see who else is in the chat here. Archmage Frey, Mark Lawrence. Mark Lawrence is a very special friend of the show. Jace absolutely loved the gear that you sent him from the anime convention that you went to. He wears that all the time for the seven Deadly Sins show that he loves so much. Thank you very much, Mark Lawrence. You made a 13-year-old kid really dang happy. When he opened that box, he's like, whoa, King! That's his favorite character. Mark knows that. And he walks around like a king wearing his Seven Deadly Sins perk. All right, Kevin says we love the Orville here in Rocket City. I'm telling you right now, the Orville's new season, it's not anything like what you might know about Hollywood or television, especially. This is a special thing. This is a 14-hour film, episodic. We got episodic stories with serialized character story arcs going across this season, and we're going to see so much. We're going to see the Krill. We're going to learn more about the Krill. The Krill are probably going to be humanized a bit, and we actually start to see their point of view. We learn more about their lives, the way their society works. Mocklins, I have no doubt, are still going to be a bunch of jerks as far as their government goes. The people that keep the propaganda alive. So we're going to probably have to decide, hey, maybe the Mocklins, which has been brought up in the Orville, at what point, and this is a great sci-fi question, at what point do we say, it's a benefit to have an alliance with the Mocklins, but at what point do we say our differences in our societies cut right to the core of everything we believe? And that's always been the question with the Mocklins, and we're going to be getting some more answers to that in season 3. Rena Owen, Havina, Mocklin female, freedom fighter. She will be returning in season 3. Can't wait to see how much of a story we get. I'm guessing at least one amazing episode that explains a lot, but it'd be great to see her a couple times. Extra long episodes, which I'm really excited about. And just last week, Joel McNeely, one of the composers for the show that writes, they have about 3 amazing composers that write all the music for the Orville. He was doing his recording session at least last week with the whole orchestra, which they could finally have an orchestra now. It's not illegal to have the orchestra perform together now that much of the COVID restrictions that were placed upon the Orville are lightening up and lifting a little bit. You can actually have a full room, full orchestra, getting their magic put together to make the music that we love so much for the Orville. Yeah, Mocklins may be jerks, but at least they'll have hair. I remember that from our virtual TrekCon stream the other day, Matt. I heard that and I go, "Oh, that's a Klingon joke for the new Star Trek universe." I got it right away, and I was like, "Oh, hilarious!" Hopefully, none of the Mocklins show up looking like Danny Trejo, but you never know. Yeah, on their upper lip. Now, that would be great if Bortus's mustache trial that he took on there for a little fashion statement. I would love that if that became popular in Mocklin culture and you just start seeing a lot of Mocklins with mustaches. The brown guy. Hey, JP, I don't have a lot of time right now, but I wanted to pop by and say hi. And I'm glad you did, the brown guy. You have been part of this community for a very long time. And I thank you very much. Always good to see you. Even though you go around retracting messages. Resident Caveman reporting for duty. Captain Caveman! Saberwolf says, I would love to have a 3-foot long model of the Orville. Oh, man. How big is the Orville model that they used to use for the ship? Big. Kind of looked like it was 4 or 5 feet to me. And that thing cost, that thing probably cost a couple $100,000. I had a conversation one time with Tom House. This was years ago from the Orville. He told me how much that model cost. And I want to say it's like a couple $100,000. I think it's just in a giant suitcase right now in a warehouse somewhere. No problem, brown guy. I got your message before it got retracted. The Mocklins leave. The Kalons take out their homeworld. Oh, that makes me think of something, Armage. The female colony is the only Mocklin outpost left, as Admiral Halsey threatened could be the case. Actually, Ed said that, actually. Doubt it will happen, but would be interesting. Okay. That makes me think, because Kalon are a huge threat. Kalon's going to be a big deal in season 3 as well. Isaac's had an amazing story arc over the first 2 seasons, especially season 2. This one is supposed to be even better in season 3. But yeah, it's the Kalon. They have to prove to the audience when you get a new season. You got to remind people what's going on, the stakes. The stakes are the Kalon wiping out all sentient life in the galaxy. So does that mean in order to prove that the Kalon are a huge threat to the audience, are they going to actually take out one of these races? Are they going to take out Mocklus? Mocklus is where all the weapons come from, so it would make sense that the Kalon would target Mocklus first, and it'll probably be an easier place to wipe out because the Mocklins usually have their heads up their egg vents most of the time. So maybe the Kalon will go after Mocklus. Ed's already said, hey, we need to stop relying on Mocklus for weapons, start getting our own stuff. So I might make them do that. Proves the threat. Makes it the prophecy came true that the sanctuary is most of the Mocklins that are left. They're all female. and alternative lifestyle Mocklins over there as well. I think that could possibly happen. I mean, that's good writing to me. That's writing that makes sense to me. But the Orville, sometimes I get a lot of stuff right just because I put myself in the place of the writers. How would I do it compared to, in comparison with everything I know about the universe? And I get a lot of things right. So it would make sense to me that they would totally do that. But the Orville also will just throw some, some zingers at you. We're like, oh my God, where did they come up with that? That's amazing. That's way better than what I came up with. The Road Not Taken, no one expected that. I never expected that at all. That just surprised the heck out of me, guys. Joy Dawn. Yeah, too many orgies on Mockless, and I guarantee you that's probably true. We make jokes, but I know how dudes are. That's probably what's going on over there. Probably a special ceremony they have. Talk about the great release. Yeah, their heads up their Avis. Archmage, there are two things I never expected. Mark Lawrence, thank you for helping to keep the lights on, which is very much appreciated and very much needed. Let me go to the soundboard. I think all my ones and zeros that I have all connected to this stream might take care of some sound effects, but let me give you a little extra there. I'd love to see a season 4 episode on cryonic, maybe finding a forgotten lab still getting power in a basement of a university on Earth with Luke Wilson and Maya Rudolph inside. One of the subjects could be someone we already know. Yeah, Luke Wilson. Yeah, that'd be great. I just want to see season 4. I don't care what happens in it, as long as there's a 4th season, which if we all show up, not just in the United States on Hulu, but we're internationally on Disney Plus, which Orville has a huge international audience. Everybody shows up, starts clicking on play, and those numbers come in. The 4th season is a no-brainer. Everyone's up for it. Seth's up for it. The cast is up for it. I'm sure production's up for it. People that work in production love having jobs in production, so I'm sure that everyone's ready for a 4th season, and it really feels like more comics are going to be coming out as well. Pranakasha Productions. What are cryonics? I believe that's cryogenesis, right? Freezing people. Freezing people to wake them up later. Isn't that right, Mark Lawrence? You can correct me if I'm wrong, if there's more to it. Demolition Man stuff. Hopefully in the 4th season, everybody figures out how to use the 3 seashells. Good morning, Geek Flag with Nate Knows. Hey, Nate. Philip J. Fry, what's up, Tommy Pickles? Yeah, it would be great to get Billy West. I went to a show a couple years ago. Yeah, just a couple of years ago, and at the Improv in Hollywood, hosted by Billy West, who's a great host, and he was it was a conversation with oh God, what's his face, the brother from Everyone Hates Raymond or Loves Raymond, whatever that show was. You know his name, Rebecca Vanderwarp. Good morning to you. Ooh, Bill Mooney on the Orville. That would be great to see Bill Mooney, not only a Babylon 5 alum, but a Twilight Zone alum. Also on Space Command with Robert Picardo, and I think, was Bruce Boxleitner on? There's so many people on Space Command. I can't remember if Bruce Boxleitner was on there or not. There's a lot of great people on there. But Bruce Boxleitner will be in season 3 of The Orville as this really crazy looking blue alien. From what I hear, he's in a couple of episodes. And it doesn't look like a comedy role. It's a serious role. From the picture that I've seen of him in the new season, it really looks to me like he's probably the leader of a world. The leader of a world trying to make peace with the leader of another world. Which is always it's always something that great sci-fi does. get two people that hate each other from different worlds, societies, if you use it as an analogy for our own planet, and you get them to work together to see that their differences are much fewer than their likeness. Oh, Space Command, Pranakash Productions just interviewed Mark Zekri. Zekri is a great dude. He's really nice, so informative. And if you like the Twilight Zone, like I like the Twilight Zone, just having a deep dive Twilight Zone conversation with him is a lot of fun. And you forget you're doing an interview, and you're like, oh, I'm in a conversation. Great. Mark Zekri Part 2. Against the opinions I've heard, I love the episodes that involve social commentary. Yeah, those are my favorites. Like in the episode Deflectors and Majority Rules. Majority Rules, I love both episodes and I love the messages in both episodes, but Majority Rule is a true Twilight Zone episode. And I started Twilight Zone as a child, way before Star Trek, the original series. It wasn't that far between. I was like 4 when I started Twilight Zone and 5 when I started Star Trek. But those weird out of the box episodes that really make you think about something on the original series and all Star Trek, I always loved them because it brought me back to Twilight Zone type stuff. Majority Rules, Twilight Zone episode, Command Performance with Ed and Kelly going to that Mocklin Zoo. Instantly reminded me of one of my favorite episodes of Twilight Zone, with not Malcolm McDowell, Roddy McDowell. People are the same all over, where he gets put into a zoo on Mars, a human exhibit. Same thing in that episode. Absolutely adored that. Geek Flag says, I think I know how to use the 3 seashells. 1 shell is to scoop the poop. 2 seashells is to clean the area. 3 is to deodorize the area. You got it. That's how I use the 3 seashells. I hope I'm not doing it wrong. Sometimes I deodorize the area before I do the scooping. So, there was a learning curve. Absolutely a learning curve. And then when I was in there, they also had decorations in the restroom that I went into at the Taco Bell. And they actually had a sand dollar in there, and I was using that. And that, do not use the sand dollar. I will tell you that. It has nothing to do with your business. It's just for show. Use the 3 seashells. Thank you very much, Erie, IRRI. Hit the love button. That's what it is. Make it a love button. Do. The love button, guys. Yeah, let's experience the love button event. Mr. Tom Pickles, I always assumed they were genetically engineered clams, specialized for the various tasks needed at the time. Yeah, maybe they all have different functions. Maybe there's a max power button on some of those seashells for some of your larger business arrangements that you had to conduct in the Taco Bell bathroom. Brad Garrett, that's exactly who I'm talking about. Brad Garrett wrote a book about turning 50, and he was doing, a talk, like an hour-long thing where he's just discussing stuff in the book and discussing life, and Billy West was the host. And, I'm like 3 feet away from both of them. And I love Brad Garrett, but I'm like, oh, there's Billy West. Those glasses make you look so slender. I wish I can give credit to the glasses, but I've been losing weight like crazy the last couple of weeks, especially last week. Last week I did a 5-day fast. I did not eat food at all for 5 days straight. And I lost 11 pounds in 5 days, and it's not water weight. I lost the water weight 2 weeks before. It was fat. 11 pounds of fat makes a huge difference. You can see that because fat is so light. So yeah, I lost 11 pounds of fat last week and a couple pounds of just regular fat. Regular, not going too hardcore fat this week because it keeps going. You start eating again, but you're still losing weight. because your body every cell in your body rewrites itself and learns how to go back to basics, and it forgets that you were fat your whole life, and it lets you start a whole new imprint. I thought it was crazy. It went fast. Those 5 days went fast because I prepared for them. Uh, I didn't just stop eating. A friend of mine saw what I was doing, and she like, oh, I'm gonna do that too. And she just stopped eating, but she didn't prepare for it. I prepared for it. But I never got hungry once. My energy went through the roof by the second day, and it stayed that way, and it's still this way. I still have very high energy because your body is learns to burn body fat as fuel as opposed to sugar, which I don't have any in my body. I haven't in a week. And the fat in your body is a much cleaner fuel than anything that you would that it would get from what you eat. So your body just becomes super, like just bouncing off the walls with energy, and it hasn't stopped yet. Yet you're still able to fall asleep right away at night, sleep through the night. Great. Did you substitute a liquid diet at all? Well, I didn't do a liquid diet, but of course, when you fast, there are things that you can drink. You can drink black coffee, which I did. I'd have a couple cups of black coffee in the morning. I had a couple cups of black coffee today. I still don't know if I'm going to eat today or not. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to eat today. But also I take a lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrients, and a lot of minerals every single day. And you got to make sure, if you're not eating, to get at least one level teaspoon of high quality salt. So I'll just add that to my water. You don't even notice it. And potassium, extremely important. So I did all the science first. I've been studying fasting for about 8 months, almost on a daily basis. And so I was just completely prepared. So I had nothing negative to say. Nothing negative happened at all. Only positive things happened to me. But you got to be prepared. You got to do it prepared, or else you might have negative. You might get a little tired on the third or fourth day, but you'll get your energy back the next day. Things like that. But I had nothing wrong happen. Nothing bad. Nothing to lament about. Only positive. Decaf coffee, caffeine acts on the blood like sugar. Not in my research, but caffeine is good for you in moderate amounts. I stopped drinking all caffeine by noon every day. But decaf coffee at night, because there's something nice about coffee, especially at night. If you drink coffee at night, it just kind of feels like it almost feels like you're drinking alcohol. You're doing something a little extra adult. Just make it decaf. I highly recommend. Saber's right with that decaf. But yeah, too much caffeine is bad for you. You don't want to get your adrenaline, spike your insulin. Your insulin starts making sugar. That's key. Make sure you're doing stuff that doesn't make your body make sugar. Sugar is sugar. And also a thing I did a little over a week before I started the long fast, is I gave up all carbs and all sugar. I'm talking zero. The foods I eat, the vegetables, I don't really eat fruit because of the sugar. But the vegetables I eat don't really have sugar in them. But you will get some carbs in veggies, but they're good carbs. But you don't want to be having like a whole bunch of potatoes or anything like that. I was just eating carnivorous vegetables. And the only time I missed food, I never got hungry. But when I did miss food, the act of eating food or tasting food, I only missed vegetables, which is insane. Oh, Saber, that is amazing. Doing keto, I dropped from 287 to 178 pounds in 18 months. That is amazing. I do, it's not necessarily, it is keto, I guess, what I do, but only by accident. Because keto is good for you if you're doing it correctly and accurately and healthily. Very good for you. I do intermittent fasting, just like keto, low carbs, low sugar, almost zero for me, and it's great. Just do your research, ask me any questions. It's all about doing it healthy. I didn't do it to, of course, I want to lose weight. That's always been my lifelong goal since I was 10 years old. Uh, but I decided I'm not doing this for weight, to lose weight. I'm doing this to get healthy, to have my body be healthy, incredibly healthy, and weight loss just an amazing, huge benefit from getting healthy. And Saberwolf, that is awesome. I'm very proud of you. Dark Mage, the thing I usually miss most is crunch. What would you recommend as a nice crunchy snack? You don't want to eat a ton of nuts, but pecans I think is one of the best, healthiest nuts for you. But if you don't want to munch on these nuts, then you can actually add spices to lettuce, to romaine lettuce, because romaine lettuce is nice and crunchy. Add some, a little bit of sea salt, maybe a little bit of spice, and actually try it. You will be pleasantly surprised at the crunch that you get and the flavor that you get, and you don't miss the chips so much. It's like healthy nachos. It's not a substitute for nachos. Nachos are always going to be better, but you'll be very surprised. But the way I get my crunch is I eat celery and hummus. Congratulations on your upcoming Neptunes, JP. Thanks, James Cecil. My nuptials. Yes, I am getting married. I'm so glad I waited till I was this age to decide that this woman is the one. Jessica is my fiance, and she is the one. We've been together a little over a year and a half now, and we've lived together for over a year now. And we decided, hey, this is the best thing ever. We both have experience with relationships, so we know the difference between puppy love, let's get married, and actually like, oh, this is going to be an amazing companionship and partnership for our life, and we're going to have the best time. So we used our adulting brains to realize this is the greatest thing for both of us, and we love it so much. So we are getting married at the end of this year. December 17th is the day of our wedding, and it will be live streamed. So everyone that is interested in watching our stupid dumb love, which isn't stupid at all, but you know how I describe things, become an amazing union, and she will be showing up here on the channel as well soon, so you guys can meet her. Yeah, we're getting married, and it's amazing. We were already preparing for it. We already have a lot of stuff, some of the stuff prepaid already. We've just been paying off things to get things, I got the rooms all set. We got the whole ceremony place, the location, the people conducting it, the live stream. We got it all set up already and paying for it. And if you guys want to take part in our love, there is a link down below to sign our online guest list. You give us well wishes. You can do the contribute to the registry. All that great stuff is down there, and I'll be updating you guys closer to the time of the link you can click on to watch our wedding. But it also will be available to rewatch on this channel when it happens. Don't do it. What is the latest news coming out of the Orville? Well, they are recording the music right now. Now, of course, with a show like the Orville, they have to edit scenes and episodes together for the orchestra, for the composers to write the music for. They don't just write random sci-fi Orville music and then they cut it into an episode. No, the music is written for what's going on the screen. So they're getting close to being done recording the score, which is very important to Seth MacFarlane on any project he does music, and working with a real orchestra and real composers. I know Joel McNeely, I believe, was recording last week for the week with the orchestra. I think, and they're just continuing on editing. There's no big news except for, but it's already been a couple weeks. The Orville will premiere on June 2nd on Hulu. Still waiting to find out if it'll air exactly on the same day for international audiences on Disney Plus, or if there'll be some sort of delay, a week, a month, 2 months, you never know. But this day and age with streaming services, usually everything airs pretty close to the same time. That's a wonderful benefit of streaming. And we're all going to be getting together, not only doing tons of episodes, or me putting out a ton of content about the new, but we're going to be doing a lot more live shows during the duration that the Orville is putting out new episodes. We got to do a pre-show, live show where we talk about the new episode that's going to be airing the next day, and then I'll wait a day so I can do some response videos to the new episodes, and then the next day after that, Fridays, we'll do another live show talking about the episode, and that gives people time to watch the episode. And if you don't get time to watch the episode, I'm sorry, I can only wait one whole day, 24-hour period before we got to talk about it. And then, of course, if you don't want to attend that live show because you didn't see the episode yet, you can always rewatch it later after you watch the episode. It might be a week later, a month later, 5 years later. You never know. Wait, is JP saying his wedding is going to be on Disney Plus internationally? Yes, my wedding will be streamed live on Disney Plus, right next to all the Avengers movies. You just look for it there. If you don't see it there, I guess the deal fell apart. If not, you can stream it on the link that I put up for you guys. It'll be on a website. And if I can't work that out, then it'll probably end up being live streamed on Porn. Yes, December 17th. Oh, yes, Geek Flag. Nate knows that is your wedding anniversary. Your wedding anniversary is December 18th. We will be married 23 years this year. Oh, I love hearing that. I'm hoping to stay alive long enough for us to have been married 40 years. And then we get super old, she passes away, and then an hour later I pass away, and everything's good. Will you stream the birth of your first child? That one I probably won't. That one might get shut down on YouTube. But if I take some videos, I'll be putting them up. All from complimentary angles, of course. Yes, absolutely. We've done it before. Plan on doing it again. I'm also in the works of making a Egotastic FunTime podcast, which I'm already going to be reaching out to some of the Orville actors and production to just talk about life, talk about making things. Already got a couple other people wanting to do some episodes that are in the business. Will we still get one show a week or all at once? Well, it was said by Seth when they first announced this, that they were moving to Hulu all those years ago, that the episodes will still come out weekly. There has not been an official announcement if that's the case, but I've done my research, and Hulu usually always puts out their original programming, their Hulu originals, out weekly. Now, often, though, they'll put out at least 2 or 3 episodes that first day, and then they move to weekly. Whether or not that's going to be happening with the Orville, we don't know, but I'm pretty confident we're going to be getting a weekly release, which is what I prefer. I don't got time to review all the episodes in 1 week because I deep dive. I really go deep into the situations and what's going on in the new episode. It takes me 3 days to do 1 episode. And so I hope they don't put them all out at once, but I'm pretty sure they don't want to do that. The production wants a weekly release so fans can really get hyped up together and talk about an episode and wait for the next episode and get all ramped up like that. And it's pretty sure it's weekly release, but we might, don't quote me on this, we might get 2 or 3 episodes that first day, which that I'm fine with because that'd be exciting. But they might not do that at all. The episodes are extra long this season and extra huge, extra big. So they might decide just to do 1 episode that first day. Congratulations, Kevin Scott. 30 years next year for us. That is amazing. I love, it took me a long time to find my person. I found many persons in my romantic history. But they always ended up not being the right person. But now I have found not even just the right person, the more than right. I mean, sometimes we share a brain. I'll say one thing and she was just about to say the same exact thing. That happens all the time. You know, statistically speaking, you will probably go before her. The man usually dies first. Oh, yeah, I'm fully aware. And that's why I'm, and I've always been unhealthy my whole life. And so just having her has inspired me to get super healthy. Not just healthy, super healthy. So that's why I've been doing what I've been doing. And now I'm finally seeing some big results. And I'm feeling amazing. And, you know, things that, you know, might go, you know, you get older and your bones start to hurt and your muscles hurt. Nothing. Everything feels amazing. Things used to hurt a little bit. So getting older, all gone. All inflammation gone. And inflammation is a problem with 95% of anything that's wrong with somebody. Is this going to be the final season of Orville? Only, Ron, that's a great question. That's the thing a lot of people are worried about. That will only happen if we don't show up. Hulu has said it. They have said it. Scott Grimes has said it. If numbers are good, everyone's up for a fourth season. It's just we got to show up. And I know we will. Even people are like, it's taking too long. I'm not going to watch I don't even care. I'm like, you'll watch it. I know how people are. I know how human beings are. I'm not going to eat my broccoli. And guess what? You eventually eat your broccoli. And then you love the broccoli. Oh, you put cheese on it? Orville's going to have some nice, gooey, yummy cheese. Some of the high quality stuff. Some Havarti. You know, it's some Gouda. It's going to be amazing. And people are going to be eating it up and wanting more. And the big thing that makes me feel completely confident is, and I talk about this, and I've been seeing it for months and months and months. Every day almost, I go on social media, I see some random post from somebody I've never heard of that just discovered the Orville, and they're so freaking excited to share their love for it. I see it almost every single day, either on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, especially in the comments of my videos. I see people saying, hey, I just discovered the Orville a couple of weeks ago and I binged it and I absolutely love it. I see that all the time. So I feel really confident people are going to show up. And people are going to be hungry for it. And June 2nd is scientifically business math, which isn't a math that I know. But, you know, all these studios and these streaming services, they know the numbers, they know the viewing habits, they know everything. They calculated that the absolute best time to put the Orville out is as a summer blockbuster, June 2nd. That's going to be the time that the most eyeballs are going to be watching the show. So that's when they're putting it out. Because things don't work like they did in the 90s with summer shows. Streaming society is different now. Society are all just a bunch of people that watch TV all day long, every single day for the most part. The bulk of society. Nobody ever stops watching things all year round. And with the fact that we have streaming now, even if they go out and do something, that show is still there, ready for them to watch. Oh, we're going to dinner with the Andersons. Oh, cool. Once we're done with that, I'm going to go home and watch the new episode of the Orville. Things are so much different. Back in the 90s and the 80s, you had to show up when the show was on, or you would never see it ever again. You would have to go into a time machine, set it 30 years in the future to when Netflix was invented, and then watch it then. In the future, which would be our past. So things are a lot different. So I don't want anyone to worry about the release date. That is the best date. And it's going to be on Thursdays. But all day Thursdays. You wake up on Thursday, the Orville will be ready. You don't have to wait till 8 or 9 o'clock to watch it on Fox. You can watch it with breakfast, which would be great for Good Morning the Orville. That first night, I'm probably going to stay up until 2 when it finally released in my region of the world, 2 a.m., 2 in the morning, and probably watch it as soon as it comes out so that I am completely prepared to do my reaction videos and then post and and start my deep dive. I'll probably have to watch it 4 or 5 times just on the first day. Not to mention all the times I'm just going to watch it as a fan after that. It would be great if someone could make some recap videos covering some of the races and lore and plot threads. That is on my list. I currently right now have. I was gonna start getting the first one out this week, but I did my business YouTube math, and it's still not the best time to put out high quality videos right now because you're not going to get a lot of views. The algorithm not the best right now, but it's about to be in a week or two. So this week I'm like, since I'm going back to full time talking the Orville Egotastic FunTime content creation, I was like, you know what? Before I just dive into making stuff, let's get everything prepared. I'm reworking the website today. I'm getting all the new merch coordinated with mixed tees. I got a whole new line of designs that I'm coming out with for the Orville and for other cool nerdy stuff. I'm going to be doing. I usually do full colorful stuff, which I'm still going to do to put on black t-shirts where they work best. But I want designs to be on color shirts. People like color. They don't want to be wearing a black shirt all the time. I mean, I do, but a lot of people don't. So I'm going to be designing stuff that works better on color. I've already got a couple of designs going. I'm going to do a bunch more. And, let people get some of that variety. The Orville's doesn't have black uniforms. They have purple, blue, green, red, orange, and the rest. And, I'm like, let's get those colors out there in the mix. Archimage, if they offered you early access to the episodes this season, would you take it or would you prefer to watch it with everyone else? Oh, I'll take it. I won't spoil anything, but I'll be getting those reviews out same day. Same day that the new episode is out. That would be amazing. So yeah, because I'm not going to watch it with everyone else anyway. I'll be home alone, sitting right here in this room, probably watching it right here on this computer screen. All by my lonesome. With a glass of water. No glass of water. I try to stop drinking liquids after about 6:30 or 7 every day. Where did I get the Orville baseball cap? Well, this is an official production Orville Season 2 hat. Got the Orville here. On the back it says the Orville. This is what they were giving out on set in Season 2. I did not get it from production, but I did get it from T. Stoney, who works for a Fox affiliate, who the production was giving out to these. She works for Fox. She gave me this. But I do have the Season 1 Orville cap, which is black and has the Orville logo on the front with the emblem as well. That was given to me by production. They sent it to me. They've sent me a few things. They sent me the World of the Orville book, which was signed by Seth MacFarlane. They sent me that. They've sent me some stickers. They've sent me. I do have it. They sent me official screen used upvote downvote for majority rule, which actually does turn on. So you guys can just touch the screen. You want to give me an upvote or a downvote. I appreciate upvotes. Downvotes could get me lobotomized. So if you hit that one, F you. Sorry, that's the way it goes. I don't want to be lobotomized. Bottom. Like food. What else did they? Oh, they handed me in person. Oh, you can't see it, but it's on the back wall. Many of you have seen it. I actually have the screen used page of Avis in the Ancana. Where they're flipping through in episode 6, Krill, and they find the Ancana and they're flipping through and they actually see that big page with Avis on it, throwing down spite upon his haters. I have that. It's framed on the wall. I'll have to move it closer. But I do have something on the way, Orville related, that is going to be going right here on the wall. Hopefully you'll get it in a week or so and you guys will see it. SF Giants 49ers, how is it going? There we go. Sometimes it delays, but thank you very much for that super chat. Very much appreciated. Very much needed. Now that I'm full time again, I need as much support as I can get to keep these lights on and keep the content coming. Good we have you. Thank you very much. SF Giants, San Francisco, the home of Starfleet. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, lots going on. I have, as far as big to-do episodes, I want to put out a bunch of big to-do episodes before the Orville premieres. I got 6 or 7 already in the pipeline. The next big episode I'm working on is Women of the Orville Part 1. I don't know when I'll do Part 2, but we're going to start with Part 1. And then I have a big episode, and then the other episodes are about upcoming themes for the new season. I have one called Shadow Realms, an episode called Mortality Paradox, an episode called A Tale of Two Topas, an episode called oh gosh, there is another episode. I can't remember what it's called right now. And then of course I already put out an episode. It's not a big to-do, but it's a quality episode called Electric Sheep, which has to do with the Orville Season 3, Episode 1. Talking about the themes there. It has some great Blade Runner stuff going on in that episode. I put that out about 2 weeks ago, so you can find that in the video list of things that happen here on Talking Orville. Danny Hughes, if you are going to be in that spot, where you're at for upcoming podcasts, you need to do something on the wall. I'm still deciding if I want to do the upcoming podcasts with video or strictly audio. And oh, I didn't even tell you, the podcasts will be exclusively available for a while when they first premiere, only on my Patreon channel, and then I'll probably eventually release them in some form, full edited, I don't know, right here on Talking Orville, or possibly even on Egotastic FunTimes. If I'm interviewing people that have nothing to do with the Orville, I might put it on my regular channel. I have to figure it all out. I might just put it all on my website, and people from both channels can just click on that and go to the website and listen to it for free. Or if it's Orville related, maybe I'll still have a video version of it and I'll put that up on here as a special video. So many options. There's too many options in this world to make a full-on decision on things. Go to the Cheesecake Factory. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's hard to decide what to get. Ryan Ridenauer, you need to get that in a frame, cover, and sell on Antique Roadshow when you're old. Well, it is in a frame. It's in a very nice, expensive frame on the wall. Nice and protected. Man, I'd have to really stop caring about the Orville when I'm older to put on Antique Roadshow. Like, no, I want it. It's fine. Maybe I'll sell it as an NFT. Nate says, I'll be watching Orville Season 3 New Horizons with a glass of Opsada. Well, tell us how it goes, because I'm not going to have any Opsada. I don't want any poo wine. But I implore you to enjoy what you enjoy. Don't let that parasite tickle your tummy too much after you eat it. Would love to play Dungeons and Dragons with you. Could you raffle off a game with you? That's interesting. Now I would have to learn how to play a board game version of Dungeons and Dragons. And Dungeons and Dragons, good for Dungeons and Dragons. An invention from the 1970s that was always made fun of, became very popular amongst, groups of people, and now it's big. Dungeons and Dragons as a board game still, with all this technology we have, is become a big deal with people again, and I think that's amazing. And I think it's great when people are able to put down the devices and just have a communal experience with other people, playing a game that's right there on the table, using their pieces and their imagination. Go outside and play. Just not right now. You need a shuttle pod from production so you can do a shuttle podcast. Oh man. Comedians in shuttles drinking coffee. Interviews are a great way to put up interesting content that requires very little post-production. Yeah, for me, I agree with that, Matt. Unfortunately, because I'm a dummy, when I do interviews, when I've done them in the past, I did a lot of post-production. I put them all in the places to make everything look fancy and nice. I edit out certain things, or I do too much. I was like, there's a title of their name. I put animations and stuff. Sometimes I waste time doing things that aren't needed, just to make things too fancy. Ooh, how about you do a watch party of the Orville when it airs, JP? I would love to do that. I'd have to figure out how to do that in a way where I don't get completely slammed and sued. And I do have a way to do that. Now, of course, when I do watch parties, I do them on the Egotastic FunTime Twitch channel. Link is down below, down there somewhere. Last week we did an entire binge watch, or was it the week before? It might have been last week. An entire binge watch of Upload Season 2. So watch parties will be something that pop up every once in a while, but usually when I go on Twitch, we're just gonna be chat party. But there will be special watch parties, movies, episodes of TV shows, things like that. Possibly another Orville watch party of the new season. Now, when we do that, it'll be you guys have to watch the Orville on your side. Because if I put it up anywhere, if I try to have it come through my stream, I will be shut down and put into content creator jail. But I have an idea. I think I'll put up the episode's subtitles. I can actually put up an episode's subtitles without actually showing the episode. You guys should watch on your side. But those of you who aren't interested in watching it, you just want to be there for the chat. Subtitles of the episode will be there to kind of keep track of what's going on. Yeah, we could do that. I think we have to do that. I think we're required to do that. Don't you guys think? Jonathan Perez helping to keep the lights on. Very much appreciated and needed. JP, do you think the Union will defeat the Kalon or convince them to view living beings as not a threat? I think the Kalon we're going to have some big losses to the Kalon this season. I also think the Kalon are going to have some big losses from us. And then, of course, it'll be because Ed and the crew come up with this genius thing to trick them. But will we win? I think the second thing you said is convince them to view living beings as not a threat. I think that's more what would happen. But the Orville will take the nice ending. Something Star Trek didn't do very often. The Orville will take the more realistic approach when it comes to how a situation ends. Just like with the Krill episode. Talia didn't go, "Oh, you humans aren't so bad. Thank you for not killing the children. Maybe there's something about you guys." No, they went, "These kids are going to be your enemies, son." And then she came back and did some evil stuff again. What the hell is his name? In Deflectors. Oh God, why am I forgetting his damn name? Anyway, in Deflectors, the gay Mocklin, we figured, he'd get away, away from the oppressors. No, he went in jail. His ass is sitting in jail now, unless they're able to bring him out and get him to the sanctuary. The Orville, it takes the more realistic, more downer, the thing that would happen in real life type of ending. So it could be we might have to destroy the Kalon. We're not going to change their mind, change their conclusion on sentient being, biological, and we might have to kick some booty. Maybe they'll always be a threat. Maybe the Kalon and the Caliban will end up destroying each other, and we ask them not to, but then they do. The the Orville crew will be like, hey, let's do the right thing. Here's the right thing, and the right thing doesn't happen, despite their pleas for that. So we'll just have to wait and see. I do know that season 3 has a satisfying conclusion. The Orville isn't really one to give you a cliffhanger to get you to the next season. I believe that this season will have a full story, beginning, middle, and end. But we'll leave, something open to say, hey, this crew can keep going on for more seasons. So yeah, I think defeating might actually happen. Defeating by accident, I think, probably be the thing that would probably happen. But hey, it would be nice if we were able to change their minds. Donny girl, what's going on? Personally, I don't feel your production efforts are wasted. The quality of your videos is a matter of pride for the entire community. Other fans have such terrible channels for their spokesman. Yeah, I can't help it sometimes. Now I get burned a lot. I'll spend forever on a really high quality production. I've done this many times in the past, and no one watches it. But then I do a car time video, and everyone watches. That happens a lot. Or if I make things too fancy, people think that I'm doing well, and then they don't support as much, which is fine, as long as they enjoyed the episode. But they think I'm doing well if I make a really fancy episode, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing well. I just put in that extra time. I just worked too long. So it's a line you have to walk. But I just like doing things fancy. It just is a lot of work. And there's been so many times where I said, I'm not going to do this fancy, and I can't help it. I just do. And then sometimes I don't. I think the final end result will be Isaac transferring his new view on life across the remaining Kalon. Oh, I like that. Maybe they're able to upload an essence of Isaac's programming into the Kalon society. Because really, they are AI. They're computers. They can be reasoned with, but you have to be capable of reasoning with them. You have to show them in a way that they understand, which would be in programming. You have to make them see things differently without all the calculations of what can happen 1,000 years from now. You have to really attempt to be at least one move ahead of the Kalon. Good luck. It can be done, but you got to figure it out. Now, I think in season 3, there's a high probability that the Orville has been retrofitted. The whole thing. It's fancier. It's the technology in there has been extremely beefed up. I think there's a high probability that the Orville will have been retrofitted or refitted, I should say, with Kalon technology created and shared with us by Isaac. Which I'm guessing, since things are so dire, that the Union, Ed was on thin ice when he said, hey, let Isaac stay with me. The Union wanted to dissect him and figure out all the secrets. Ed had convinced the admirals not to do that. So I think at the beginning of this season, Mark Jackson said that everybody hates Isaac, but he has a huge story arc. So it's up to Isaac to really fight for validity, the measure of a man, the measure of an android. And not to be taken to be dissected and get all of his technology and all of little not biological, but artificial intelligence secrets about the Kalon. They could probably just ask him at this point, and he'll share and he'll invent new things. I think the anti-banana ray is going to come into play, and I think some anti-banana ray technology is also going to be built into the Orville this season. I'm very highly predicting some legit time travel in this season. They've been tinkering with it. We brought a banana back. We made we not brought a banana back, but we pushed a banana forward in time. We pushed a tiny tree seed forward in time. In season 2, we brought somebody from back in time and then sent them back, which changed the entire made an entire new universe for the Orville to play within, for us fans to imagine and play within our minds. And some of you were playing too much in Kelly's excess of of low-cut shirts in that episode, uh, which I thought was weird that they even did it that far. But I know how people are, you guys. So season 3, I think it's going to be bumped up even more. Put the anti-banana ray. You know what it looks like? That triangle cone. Put that in your mind. Now add another triangle cone. Flip it upside down and put it on top of the other triangle cone. What do you have? You have a hourglass. What's an hourglass represent? Time. The sands of time. The Orville of time, guys. So I'm very much predicting some legit time travel coming up, especially with some pictures that I've seen for season 3. I saw them years ago at this point. It could definitely be time travel, but it could also just be environmental simulators. I would love environmental simulator stuff going on. I'm sure we're going to get some good stuff going on, but if we get some legit time travel, I'm going to be, I'm already going to be a happy boy, but I'm going to be an extremely nerdy happy boy. Bring back the Picard reviews. I've decided that I don't have time for no Star Trek and no Star Trek audience. So anytime I talk about Star Trek will be live shows and doing some reaction videos on Egotastic FunTime. I did do my reaction to Picard season 1. Not season 1. I did episode 1, season 2. I did a reaction video on Egotastic FunTime. That link is not below. I need to really update description box. Just because I'm like, I can't, it's just like Ron Swanson said, whole ass one thing. Don't try to half-ass 2 things. So I'm like, well, the Orville is my favorite fandom, so I'm going to go 100%, 150% into that. And then, I love Star Trek, but I'll just talk about it once in a while. Plus, it's hard to talk about Star Trek about some troll coming in and just trying to ruin the mood of the conversation. You can't even talk about legacy. I try to talk about an episode of The Next Generation. Somebody's going to come in and just start spouting off about new Star Trek. I'm like, we're talking about this episode of The Next Generation. Why are you even trying to bring in that negativity? Which leads me to one video I am working on, not about Star Trek, but kind of indirectly. I'm going to be putting out an episode soon, not a super fancy one, just a conversation starter about how to spot a fake Orville fan. I know how to spot fake Orville fans, and I'm going to put a video out about it to train others. Yes, JP knows what he's about, son. All right, party time. Mark Lawrence, fix the Kalon just like in Ron's Gone Wrong. By the way, that was a good movie. I watched that on, I don't know, wherever it was located. Might have been Disney Plus. I can't remember. There's so many streaming services. Ron's Gone Wrong was a good movie. I watched it. Jessica and my soon-to-be stepson, all 3 of us watched that and loved it. Yes, Seth put up an Instagram post with him and a drink from the future. I saw that. It was a blue drink. I was going to make a Derulio joke, but I just didn't have time to do it, so I'll probably go back at some point and make a Derulio joke. But Paramount Plus owns the copyright for Hourglass, unless they are 25% different. Oh yeah, I remember that 25% different rumor. Turned out to be something someone made up. I mean, it came from something, but I would see things where the new Star Trek is way more than 25% different, way less than 25% different, or the same. But I think, I did a video, I think, when CBS and Paramount remerged. I think that 25% thing just goes away. They can do what they want. They can make it look as close as they want or as far away as they want. But I know people are harping on that. I'm like, just look at the thing that's on the screen. You can see right there how close or how far away it is from being looking like the Trek that we knew. It's all about taking that one little thing and going as far with it as you can until people get tired of that thing and you gotta find something else to complain about. That's what I've noticed. Dan Crane, official channel member. Good morning, JP, and the chat with the current Star Trek Abomination series, which a lot of it's pretty good, in my opinion. Currently running, many of us Trekkies are looking so forward to season 3 of the Orville. the new Star Trek. Very much glad to have anyone who wants to watch the Orville watch the Orville. And yes, there are Star Trek series that you might not like, that some of them you might like if you don't carry over the other series to the new series that you're watching, or even a new season. I am not a fan of season 1 and 2 of Discovery. I like season 3. Season 4 didn't grab me. I hear a lot of people are liking it. I love Picard, especially season 2. I'm assuming Strange New Worlds should be decent, but I can't. I have no opinion until I see it. And that's, to me, that's the way I do things. I have no opinion until I see something. But I've always had many, many, many people trying to tell me what my opinion is before they've seen it or I've seen it. And that's when I go, step back. Don't tell me how I feel about something that doesn't even exist yet. That was happening to me a lot back in the day, and that's when I said, okay, I'm not going down this road. This is the road I do not want to have taken. I wait till I see it. And some things I'm like, yes, and other things I'm like, eh. And that's when I go watch old reruns of Quantum. God, I would love to do a rewatch of Quantum Leap, but that's too much. Old shows put out way too many episodes. Good morning, Orville Nation. What's going on, PJ? Star Trek is a dumpster fire. The weather is a dumpster fire. Going to work is a dumpster fire. Oh, don't get me started on that. Even my house is a dumpster fire. There are things that are dumpster fires. I have hardcore opinions about how society works, jobs, how, you know, I don't want to get into it. Way too hardcore of a conversation. But I've said this before, even when I was doing comedy stuff on my videos, more so, it's like you go to work. In order to go to work, you have to have in order to get a job, you have to have a place to live. In order to have a place to live, you have to be able to pay for that place to live. In order to have a place to live, you have to have a job to pay for it. So you have to have a job to pay for a place for you to live so that you qualify to have a job. And you have to pay for everything to do that job. You have to get up for that job. I have an opinion. Anything that requires you to spend money to go to that job should add to your wages within reason. That job wants you to take a shower and smell nice. Well, you need to pay for some of the water I got to spend. I got to spend money on to take a shower to get to the job. Oh, gas money? You're not telling me with gas money, because I'm only spending this to get to the job that you want me to do for you, to help your dream get accomplished, not my own dream. So a lot of people are spending their life, their precious time in their life to accomplish someone else's dream, while you get nothing, because the prices of everything go up, but your wages don't. So I'm like, well, you're gonna have to give us some stuff for free in order to get to those jobs. And I don't mean handouts. I just mean fair stuff. It goes on and on and on, you guys. I always try to step way far away from a situation so I can look in at it and see. And then I go further and I go, well, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Oh, this is where it started. I was so happy. Check this out. I was so happy that the government finally did something together. And they're making it so that we're having daylight savings time forever. It's not going to happen, though. I mean, we wouldn't have to start until next spring anyway. I'm so excited about that. Oh, I get daylight longer. That is amazing. I've always wanted that. Everyone thinks they want that. I don't have to change the clock on my microwave anymore. You used to have to change your clock on many more things earlier in our existence. But now it's just a microwave. Not so bad. But I'm so excited about it. But guess what? It's not going to last, because we did this back in the 70s. For 2 years, they abolished daylight, changing the clock, savings, getting rid of the sun, whatever you want to call it. And we all thought we wanted it, and it turns out after a few months, we hated it, because people don't like going in the wintertime, don't like going to school and going to work in the dark. You're going to work in the dark because you're saving the sun. So it stays. darker in the morning. People hated it. So they reversed that rule and we went back to daylight saving times. Toot sweet, mind you. And I'm bummed because I don't care about that. I work from home. And I plan to always work from home in some capacity, whether it be doing contract work, doing making content for my channels. So I don't care. I just want the daylight to last longer. So other people, because they are living in the society that the society created for them and make them, have to get up and go to schools at a certain time and work at a certain time, they're not going to like it. So, we have to give it up. We're not going to change the clocks for a couple years. That's fine, but we will be getting back with it unless they change society, saying, hey, you know what? Work starts at this time. School's going to start at this time. Let's do it that way. And that's never going to happen. So I'm sad because society is taking away this amazing thing that we got because of the way society works. Just give me my son, damn it. Give me back my son. In the words of the great Mel Gibson. TNG is 35% different. TNG. Oh, that's my jam right there. That is my favorite. And lately I've been posting about how like my preference, there's Star Trek and there's the Orville, and I prefer the Orville. That's absolutely true. And I mean that not only as a fandom, because I'll tell you right now, if you go back to the beginning, the toxicity in the Star Trek fandom began in 1976 or 7 when Star Wars came out. Star Trek fandom was amazing, and then Star Wars came out and it gave something people to compare and contrast to. They're like, oh, Star Wars sucks. It's for dumb people, this and that. I'm not gonna argue against that, but we just used to hate Star Wars. That was it. Even though we still kind of like Star Wars, we would hate on Star Wars. And then TNG came out, and then you found out, oh, there's a lot of toxicity in Star Trek fandom because they hated TNG. I mean, the loudest wheel gets the grease, or whatever the saying. I don't know colloquialism, guys. The loudest wheel gets the grease. Tons of toxicity, but then there's the people that love the thing or are new to the thing, and so they love it. And then DS9 came out. People were pissed off that there's a black guy in charge of the show. And then Voyager came out, and they were pissed off that there was a female in charge of the show. And then Enterprise came out, and I would say they were pissed off that it was a prequel, which I totally get, because I was not excited about a prequel. A prequel movie, fine, but a whole series, even though I ended up absolutely adoring the series. They were pissed off that what role did Malcolm play? No, Malcolm, the character is Malcolm. There was a rumor that Malcolm might be gay on the show. They're gonna have a gay character. People were pissed off all over the paper. So it's always been there, pre-Star Wars, back when the fandom was innocent. But they didn't have social media. They didn't have the internet with all those other series. So now there's a big bullhorn. Probably the same amount of toxicity, I would say, to start with. But the internet, it starts to fuel itself. It cycles through. So then people that didn't like a new series or whatever, now they hate it. And they have taken a stance as if it's Les Miserables and they're fighting the government against these things. I'm like, whoa, this has gotten too far. This has gotten too far. What happened to taking delight in each other's difference? What happened to making the world, the universe, a better place? So there's a lot of people out there, and not just Star Trek, but I'm using Star Trek. It's just what the internet has done to us. Just shined a light on what was already inside us this whole time, this whole thousands upon thousands of years we've been on the planet. It just shines a light on it. And a lot of people that grew up on Star Wars and not Star Wars, Star Wars, that grew up on Star Trek and ride or die with the meaning of the stuff that Gene Roddenberry created and the messages that they're giving, they act now on social media like they never learned any of those lessons. So what I do on social media, if I don't like something or whatever, I'm like, what would Picard do? Would Picard like that I wrote this hateful thing? No, he would not, because that's not the way someone that abides by the ideals of Star Trek would behave. But the internet makes people forget all that stuff, and it takes over, unfortunately. It's something our human brains, for the most part, are not ready for. We have not evolved enough for it. We're not used to it enough. But one day, having it in our lives, having it in our society for maybe a few more 100 years, we might get used to it. We might figure it out how to make it go. I keep thinking too much about nerd stuff, you guys. Just because I see it all day. And I'm talking nerd stuff. I'm talking about internet stuff. I see the internet every day. I see what is all of it. It's done to me too. I'm not above anybody at all. Things that I complain about or bring up are all things that I'm guilty of at some point. Hey, thanks, Huey. Yeah, these are my glasses from Zenny.com. The glasses are like $7.95, like $8. And then my prescription, I think, was another $15. So I paid 20 something bucks for these glasses. I want to get them in every color. I already have them in orange as well. Yeah, Malcolm being gay wouldn't change Jack S-H-I-T Earl Grey Hot. Not now that the show, has already existed. If people are up in arms, so apparently, I don't even know if this is true, but apparently production rewrote it so that he's not gay before it aired, before they were filming. I think it would have been a big deal, but I think now, all these years later, people wouldn't remember it for that at all. Maybe it would have helped with the new crop of Star Trek, get people prepared. I was already prepared for it back when Riker was boning a bunch of asexuals. But you know Riker, he'll bone anything. I wouldn't touch his trombone. The internet is a dumpster fire. I will agree with you. But like I said, before I go into anything communication-wise, I always say, what would Picard do? And I write it and I go, would Picard like or hate that? I'm like, oh, he'd hate that, so I rewrite it. Or he'd love that. And I'm like, does he really love anything that other people do? He won't hate it, so I'm like, okay, I'll put it up. A lot of Enterprise backlash from older fans is that it ignored FASA ships and lore. FASA was never canon, but they could have worked it in. I would have, since the work done, half done for me. Yeah, I actually, my memory of Enterprise hatred towards it happened a year before it ever premiered. People were hating on it, I remember, but you didn't see it all over the place because it would be in magazines or in newspapers and stuff like that. It wasn't just thrown on you all day long until you eventually get sucked into the mindset. And man, it's okay. It's fine not to like stuff. It's just actively hating stuff where there's the difference. The line must be drawn here, no further. I will pay for what they have done. I want to start an acting class called Things Picard Says, and all you do is you just act out one-liners from Picard. I think that alone will be enough to get people to become really good actors. Mood glasses. Mood glasses are the new mood ring. Oh man, if I could get this thing to change colors, that would be amazing. Or was it the Riker maneuver? Well, we all know what the real Riker maneuver was. When he was sitting on a, he'd always sit on a chair from behind. But he always had to spread his legs to do it. So it kind of tells you where that move was rooted in. Spreading your legs, Riker. There are 4 lights. 5 lights. Damn it, we've been over this. What happened to people enjoying things that are imperfect but still enjoyable? It's still out there. I see so much positivity on everything out there. And not enjoying a thing is also perfectly fine. I'm of the camp of allow people to enjoy things, but also allow people not to enjoy things, as long as they're not spreading hate around. It's fine to say, "Oh, I didn't dig this. Awesome, and this is why I didn't dig it." But then once I start hearing buzzwords, as soon as someone says Kurtzman, I'm like, "Oh, this opinion was assigned to you, and you don't even know it." You gotta watch them buzzwords, you guys, because they're very telling. Very telling. I'm gonna start saying, "Oh, Durpenberry's Star Trek. Gene Durpenberry." Matt Deckard, found this in my wallet and thought of you. Thank you very much. Now, my question is, and I don't have one anymore, but it's my favorite thing. Do you have, wait. Do you have a wallet with Velcro? Those are the only wallets that are valid, in my opinion. You want the safety of Velcro, but the ease of an astronaut. Open that up, boom, money, put it back, and don't forget the sound was the best. And it better be in a neon color. Thank you, Matt. You're not real. You're not real. Oh yeah, you're not a real. What is that from? You're not a real. Let me know what that one is. I'm blanking on that. The last one I saw was a Reese's wallet in orange, and it was my mother's. Oh. My last wallet I had, and I had it for... My girlfriend made me get rid of it. Well, I have it somewhere, but she bought me a new wallet. The first wallet I've had since 1995. So 30 some years I had this wallet. Got it from Hot Topic. Black leather with flames on the side. I bought it, it had a chain because chains were popular back then. But of course, got rid of the chain once chains were no longer popular, which I think was a week later. So I always had that little metal hoop to attach a chain to it. Phones are the new wallets. Yeah. Phones are the new cameras, the new library index, the new dictionary, the new porn magazine. It's everything, that phone, except for a phone. I never pick up my phone because I never have time to pick up a phone and talk for however long it might last. I have to do appointments. I need to plan for the time frame to... I'm always in the middle of something. I need to go pick up somebody. I need to get something ready for somebody. I need to talk to somebody. I'm in the middle of editing. Always something. Yeah, that's what I heard too about the Riker maneuver. He had back problems and he was tall, and it just was easier, and it caused him less or no pain to sit down on chairs that way. So he brought that from his real life. What a piece of work is man. I can see you saying. But I can see that line coming from any sci-fi. Any great sci-fi has wonderful dialogue like that. Not saying that is you, just stating what people say against each other. Go back to Ryan. This context. Orange. Oh, you're not a real Star Trek fan. Yeah, people say that. And I'm like, but I actually like Star Trek. What do you like? I like Star Trek from back when I was younger and I didn't have bills and I didn't have to pay taxes and didn't have kids and responsibilities and understand how the world works and that it's an unfair place. Back when I liked everything because of my life wasn't so sucked. I'm unhappy with my life, so now I hate everything. And that's also different. Go to content creators that are fans of whatever, but they do nothing but complain. I'm like, if you're a fan of Stump, if you're a fan of anything, every once in a while you have to talk about something that you like. Now, if it's nothing but hate or something to complain about, then you know money is to be made. and there's no option for a positive opinion about anything because that's not where the money comes. But it's okay to criticize, but if it's nothing but criticizing, then you know there is another motive. Once I figured that out, I changed my whole thing. I'm like, I don't care about the money. I need the money, but I do not care about the money at the expense of not living a life in a way that I was taught from Star Trek. Star Trek raised television raised. There was a lot of Star Trek on that television. So everything I do comes from either Star Trek or Three's Company. It's those two things is where I learned how to live my life, and so I try to uphold that in everything that I do. As much as I need the money, I cannot allow myself to get it that way. But I could. I could do that. I decided, you know what? Let's just start a community, service that community, and this community is the Orville positive fandom community. Always willing to listen to and make valid criticism. I have some criticisms of the Orville, but I know no one wants to hear it because it's a very touchy subject. And I still have love for this thing, but I do have criticisms of it. But it's the thing that you guys love the most, so I'm gonna be diplomatic as Jean-Luc taught me, and only bring it up in very hard to read ways, which I have done. Tom Casey, thank you so much. Been keeping busy. Been busy. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate you very much. I've been doing Talking the Orville Light for the last many months. For the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. Some of you might not have noticed. I've noticed. But I'm going hardcore again, starting on Monday, doing all the administrative stuff ahead of time so I can just start creating. But yeah, I'm going back to full-time content creation as long as I can keep it up. Hopefully I can keep it up until the Orville starts. Not super confident, but if I just try really hard, I think I can keep the lights on until June 2nd. And then when June 2nd hits, I think I'll be completely fine for at least 2 months. So I'm going to try my best to do 100% full-time content creation until a couple months after the Orville is finished with their new season. I think I can do it because there's going to be a lot of talk, not only a lot to talk about before the season, a lot to talk about during the season, and I think we'll still have a lot to talk about for at least a little while after the season is over. And who knows, maybe we'll get some exciting announcements about a season 4. And then once we're done with the Orville conversations on this particular URL on this channel, the plan is start putting more content on my other channel, but still putting out some stuff on this channel. It's just there'll be no reason to do crazy hard after I get it all done. But get some new conversations going on regular Egotastic FunTime. That's the plan, and really dive into the podcast, which I'll just probably have available on my website, but it will be available first on the Patreon page, which is available to subscribe to right down below to help support this channel. Dan Crane, thank you very much. Let's ask a very important question here, Dan Crane. Where was Gordon's leg? It took us a while to find it. We finally found it in Priya's quarters, guest quarters on the Orville. Sure, it fell out of the ceiling. Alara took it away, but where did she take it to? Does Gordon's leg still exist somewhere on the ship? In a compartment somewhere in stasis? Did they burn it? Did they break it down with a synthesizer and turn it into somebody's cup of pudding? Where is Gordon's leg? Does it exist? Is it a spare? Is it something? Well, I guess they wouldn't use it as a spare, because if they did, they just would have reattached it instead of growing Gordon a brand new leg. But maybe they only grew him a brand new leg because they couldn't find the leg. if they found the leg, maybe they could reattach it easily, do a little zzz around where it goes to where it comes back together, heals it up, starts working fine, no phantom pains. Still a size, I'm guessing size 10 shoe. I don't know what Scott Grimes wears. I wear a 12. I don't know what Scott, maybe he's a 12 as well. But thank you, Dan Crane. I appreciate it. And then I do plan on I like talking about Star Trek, new and old. Though I'm not as caught up on all the new stuff because there's just too much stuff to watch. Maybe start doing some live shows over on the regular Egotastic Fun channel about other nerd stuff. I do like to, conversation wise, it's fine here to talk about anything that you want to talk about, but I'll always start it off as a Orville thing on this channel. But on Egotastic FunTime, it's no holds barred. I might want to do a whole live show just talking about how to clean your underwear, and that's it. But the conversation can go wherever it wants to go. But we're gonna start off with some underwear, you guys, some chony wear, as we used to call it when I was a kid. Ask Isaac. Oh, Dan, be humble. Number one, Fagin. LOL, love it. Number one, Fagin. Number one fan. I get it. I get what's. His leg was turned into a lamp. Well, was it a lamp or was it a major award? That is something you have to ask yourself. Yeah, ask Isaac. Isaac mine. The only good Star Trek is the original animated series. This was literally never been said before, and I'd like to be the first to say it. I love doing stuff like that. Like I've been doing on Twitter. I've been the other day, and some people in productions were liking the tweets, but I was doing tweets called #WokeTrek, and I was just showing Woke Trek from Legacy series. I was showing the half black, half white face. I'm like, oh, Woke Trek. I was showing on TNG pilot, you know, a guy wearing a dress uniform, you know, an actual skirt. I was like, oh, Woke Trek. And there's millions more to find and do. Just as a joke. I like taking an anti-opinion and having fun with it. So I appreciate that, Archmage. You get me. You truly get me. Underwear card time. Well, you're going to have to wait for my fasting lifestyle to really take hold. I mean, it's going pretty well. That tummy is getting flat. Like, it's getting flat. I can see things down there I wasn't seeing before. I ain't gonna get into specific, but it's getting down, getting flat. So, you know, once it gets all the way, once I'm done cooking, you never know. There might be an underwear card time, but that'll be on my OnlyFans. Egotastic OnlyFans. Egotastic OnlyFans. Watch JP get a tan. Maybe I should start tweeting reasons why Pulaski is better than Crusher. Love it. Exactly. You got to have a theme. You got to have an angle to really get people's attention. And that's a great one. Like I used to do that with Pulaski. Anytime I talked about Pulaski, I just treated her like she was the worst ever. Because that's how she treated Data, damn it. Pulaski. Pulaski. Pulaski was Angry Nerd Troll before Angry Nerd Troll. Going back though, I love Pulaski episodes because she was the devil's advocate on TNG. We all had our opinions. We knew how things are supposed to go, and she'd always just kind of question it. Well, why do you do that? Why do you think that? Pulaski was better than Crusher. That is a great angle. Hold a torch up to Pulaski. Make her the greatest Star Trek officer ever. That is actually a brilliant angle. You could say some really funny stuff. Has the Orville underwear collection been invented yet? I might have seen some creator somewhere put out an Orville underwear thing. You just gotta find a website, a creation website that allows underwear to be made, and Just add an Orville logo to it. Boom, the underwear's made. People can buy it. I don't have that option with mine. I can do t-shirts. Oh, big announcement. Talking to Orville will soon have hats available. I finally got a hat thing going on. I've had the hardest time finding hat makers. I've tried it many times and it was just always a pain in the butt. Well, I finally, with Mixed Tees, which I'm exclusively selling my merch with now, we will have some hats. I'll have some Orville hats and also some Egotastic FunTime hats and other nerdy hats. Coming up first will be the hats, and I'll have a shirt version as well. The shirt will be way fancier design because you can only do so much on a hat. We're going to be having New Horizons hats that look exactly like the Orville logo. Oh no, I am a virgin in that way. Orville underwear coming soon. Here's a question. Do Mocklins wear underwear? And if they do they have the little flap? Do Mocklins not care about the flap because they only need it once a year? That's just the day that they wear special underwear, special ceremonial Loja underwear. See, these are the types of questions we like to ask here to really flesh out the Orville universe here at Talking the Orville. And together we can figure out these answers, you guys. Yeah, I've had people ask for slippers. I can't make slippers. I can do like mugs, shirts of all kinds of different shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, and hats, and one other thing. I'll have to look and see what it is. I'm not in control of my store. Other people do this, put the store together. I just make the design, and they do what they make what they want to make with them. They put the pages together and all that great stuff. Link is in the description if you want to see the exclusive shirts already available. You'll find stuff for the Orville. You'll find stuff for Star Trek, all made by me personally. And there's some Egotastic FunTime stuff on there. It's a lot of fun. My favorite stuff is the Orville and the Star Trek stuff. You need a tea Earl Grey hot shirt. There's one down there for you. You need an Avis shirt. I got an Avis shirt for you. You need a Darmok shirt. I got a Darmok shirt for you. You need a Seth Trek shirt. There are plenty. Can it have the production Orville hat, JP? Sorry, as gifts, I do not allow myself to give away gifts. People are excited to give things to me. Also, when it comes to Orville production, they've joked around about like, yeah, don't give away or sell our gifts to you because that ensures you keep getting more gifts. But if you need a Orville related hat, coming soon within the week to the Egotastic FunTime store on Mixed. Stu Parker, what's going on? Hi, all from New Zealand. It's 5:30 a.m. Hope all is well. Man, I tried to schedule this so you wouldn't have to be up too early or too late. Stu, my apologies. I have found that no matter what time of day or night that I do a live stream, there's always a part of the fandom that it's just too late or too early. Stupid planet Earth and your time zones. Oh, Archmage. I wish I could do a PS5. I wish. I can't afford a PS5. I can't even afford a PS1. I can't even afford a PS1 controller. But damn, if I can afford a PS5, I would have a PS5. And it would be streamed live on Twitch. And sometimes right here on YouTube. Because YouTube's actually starting to kick Twitch's ass when it comes to certain things. Captain Caveman, it's 5:38 p.m. Do you know where your caveman is? Seth Trek shirts are the most anti-dumpster fire ever. And I have to come up with some new designs, actually, for Seth Trek. We got 2 or 3 that you guys have loved for a while now. It's time to get some updates going. Of course, my favorite shirt, it's the Orville, has the Orville logo, but I remade the logo to something to a cocktail glass, and instead of saying the Orville, it says day drinking. But if you just glance at it, it looks like it says the Orville, but it says day drinking, and it has a new version of the logo that I made. That one's a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite designs. I 3D printed the Orville seal on my 3D printer. That is awesome. Post some pictures and tag me. I'd love to see that. I actually have a wood version of the Orville logo coming up. It's gonna be right on this wall. It's on its way. Made out of wood. Special gift from an amazing Orville fan creator. Wood carved. My caveman is with the gecko. Are you saving up to 30%? Oh, Battlestar Egotastica. Yes, that was a fun one as well. I believe that might be on there. Now I do have my one with my face on it. I recreated oh, what's the damn movie? Starship Troopers. I recreated Starship Troopers poster with me, and it's Egotastic FunTime, and it says it could happen here. You'll see that on the page as well. That's a fun one. That's a big fancy picture. That one took me a couple days to finish making. Nice. James says, I have a Planetary Union Central drink coasters I made from a ceramic tile to, ooh, ceramic. You're doing it right. Because I see, coasters, printed up on whatever waterproof paper, foam, or on plastic, whatever, but you got it with ceramic tile. That's doing it right. If you make a ton of those, I think you could sell them. Get you an Etsy store. Or you can even sell them on Amazon. You can sell them on Amazon. You just start your own Amazon store. And you are the provider of the thing that you sell. You just got to do your own shipping. You can do that. Go to the bottom on Amazon.com and you'll see, all these different links. There's one for having your own store. Battlestar Egotastica is the predecessor to the Starship Egotastica. Yeah, battle. Battlestar Egotastica is one of the few battle stars in the fleet that still uses speak and spell technology. That's why the Cylons were not able to take it over. They didn't understand how speak and spells work. Geolaw, what is going on? Long time no see. Well, not that long, but nice to see you today. Clyden. We got to fix Clyden this season, which is the whole point of Clyden's storyline. They only made us hate him so that we can root for him to get better. So I hope we see Clyden actually start to make progress in his dumbass world universe view, his galactic view, which of course I understand is very hard. Grew up on a planet. That's the way he grew up. That's the way he was made to see everything through the lens of Machlin's society. You can't just have people just forget that stuff and reprogram their brain. So hopefully things happen to him this season. I think things will through Topa. His love of Topo, I think, will be more powerful than his worldview, and we'll see him start to make changes this season. But there's going to be harder times before we get to the better times, and that's what she said. You guys. Yeah, I know. I just don't see Seth seeing me for it though. I didn't get that one. Yeah, I know. I just don't Seth seeing me for it. Or you don't want Seth seeing you for it? Making as far as like just so you guys know, if you make like those coasters, you should be absolutely fine as far as copyright stuff. Not posters, but an imprint on a tile thing. They're not making anything like that, so, and they probably never will. So I think you would be fine. You just market it as fan made, fan created. Put the word fan in there, they're gonna give you some leeway. The Orville loves their fans. Even on me, on everything that I make, I always say, fan created. Good to be here. Good to have you here, Giola. Jaloja, Caleb. How is everyone's morning going? Some of you it's afternoon, some of you it's evening already. Jessica will actually be home for lunch pretty soon. Maybe she'll pop in and I can wave to her. First, she popped anyway. Here. The door's way over there. If Fred Johnson can become a good guy, then Clyden can too. Good old Fred Johnson. The Expanse. Fred Johnson didn't get to be a good guy for very long, I don't think, did he? I just double checked, and you can make underwear on Cafe Press. There you go. If you guys need some Orville underwear, go to Cafe Press. Bring an Orville logo with you. Boom. As easy as that. Afternoon here on the tip of North America. That's the northeast of America. Caleb Richardson, I love that quote most Orville fans have latched onto is a bathroom related quote. Probably the bathroom, it is that way. Like compared to some of the overly serious Trek quotes. Jaloja reminds me to just have fun. Yeah, Jaloja. Get you a nice cup of Jaloja, my Jalojas. Good Jaloja to you. Top of the Jaloja. Oh, I just came up with that one. I'm going to start using that. Top of the Jaloja to you. That I think would really catch on. And the Orville crew practically endorses what you create, JP. That is what I love most about them. They are amazing, and actually, yeah, a lot of times they'll see they have purchased my Orville shirts, they have shared my Orville shirts, and they told me that if they ever had a problem with my creations copyright wise, they would let me know. And so far, so good, you guys. And I purposely try to, even without checking with them, I purposely try to avoid what could be considered copyrights. Like, there's ways to do it, and I've learned all those ways. Like even with my New Horizon hat that's coming out in a week or so, it looks exactly like the Orville logo, but it says New Horizon instead. You can do New Horizon all you want. That's not a copywritten phrase. It's not the name of a show. I try to never have the Orville logo on my stuff. I mean, I put the emblem on some stuff in certain ways. I always try to change it in creative ways, use a piece of it here or there, cover up a portion of it with the ship flying by or the silhouette of a ship flying by. There's lots of ways to make things completely legal. So I always try to do all that ahead of time. I tried to make Farscape theme shirts years ago and got hit with a copyright. Yeah, I've gotten hit with tons of copyright stuff. Usually for stuff that shouldn't even have been copywritten, but somebody, a fan sees it and they don't know how the laws work, and so they complain. And a lot of these companies, these shirt companies, instead of just checking into it, seeing if it really is, they're just like, we don't need it anyway. We'll just cancel your account. And even though there was nothing wrong, but sometimes but they have to do that because there are a lot of people doing things wrong and illegally. I don't play that game. It's always in the top of my head. Anytime I come up with an idea, I'm like, okay, how do I make sure this isn't infringing on anybody? Jaloja is so relieving. That's why they call it the Great Release. A lot of you guys probably forgot. I did not forget. Jaloja, back when they announced the name of the episode, Jaloja, and we were trying to figure out what Jaloja meant, because it's just a weird word to be the title of an episode. We didn't know what it was yet. I guessed that it was, I predicted correctly that it was Bortus is going to pee. because in the description of the episode they say Bortus is celebrating a yearly anniversary of something like that, and I go, oh, Machlin's pee once a year. It's one of the first things we learned about him. He is gonna pee, and since it's called Jaloja, I guarantee you it's some ceremonial thing, and you're peeing, which everyone thinks is a release or a relief. I guarantee you, he says, and I said this in the live show and in an episode, I guarantee you he's going to call it the Great Release, because that's how I would write it. Sure enough, that is exactly what happened. Just like I predicted years ago when we found out Q was coming back, or even just for teasing the idea of him coming back, I go, here's what's going to happen. Q was going to pop up. He's going to look exactly the same age as he did the last time we saw him. And he's going to see Picard is so old. And he's going to say, oh, you're so old. Let me make you feel more comfortable or something like that. And he's going to go like that. Boom. And he's going to instantly age up. I said that years ago. And that is exactly what happened. And that's not a spoiler alert because it's in the trailer for the new season of Picard. Yeah. I got my writer brain. And I go, how would I do it? Knowing everything that I know, I go, this is how I bet you that's how they do it. And in most cases, that's exactly how it's done. But the Orville surprises me. Because they'll even do stuff that I predicted, but they'll do it in a way that I never thought they would have been able to do it. And they do. So even when they do what I predicted, they still surprise me with the way that they did it. Pranakasha, I got my Teespring page shut down by making an Elvis Darth Vader mug. Yeah, you got to figure out... Darth Vader images are tough. You have to change the image in some way. One of my favorite shirts that I made is a Star Trek shirt. Now it's available. It used to be on my Teespring, and it was fine. But now, of course, it's available on MixTees because that's my exclusive carrier now, which is great for all your favorite YouTube channels. And but I did this design. It took me a whole day to do it. But what I did is I combined Leonard Nimoy's face as Spock with Che Guevara. I think you actually own this shirt, Matt. With Che Guevara. Now, if I used either one of those individually, it probably would have been flagged by somebody. Maybe not Che, because that one's so recent. Spock would have been flagged. But since I just took his face and put it on Che Guevara's head, and I did like Viva la Star Trek or whatever the thing is I did it in Spanish. It looked amazing. It looked exactly right, but you can't flag it because it's just pieces of this and pieces of that. But you use a whole Darth Vader, yeah, you probably get flagged. Yeah, larga vida u prosperidad. Prediction. You should put together a video of correct and incorrect Orville predictions. I'm sure I think I've come across incorrect ones from the past. Man, that'd be a big to-do. I go, let's be positive. Let's just celebrate everything I got right. But yeah, there's a couple things I got wrong. I can't remember. I think it was season 2. But I got so many things right. And the couple of little things I remember getting wrong. But I can't remember what they are. I'd have to find. Because I don't write a list of all this stuff. Last thing I care about is credit for anything. So JP is our predictor stick now? Not now. Always. Ever since I started. I'm the predictor stick. On Disneyland Plus, what's up, Marco? The Orville has a remarkable number of languages. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Especially since the Disney Plus Orville stuff is for international audience. That makes optimistic. Hope it will start at the same day as in USA on Hulu. That is what I'm hoping. I'm guessing actually what they would probably do is make it maybe be a day later. So that way the whole world, because America's in one time zone and the other world, most of the international audiences are way ahead of us. So they might make it a day or two behind, but man, that's not bad at all. That's a big thing that I'm wondering about. I've been wondering about that for a long time. So the moment I get confirmation on exactly when the Orville is going to air on Disney Plus, hopefully as soon as possible, within a day or two. Hopefully, I'm going to let everybody know because that's a big deal. That's big news to me. Predictor sticks are the new crystal balls. Oh, crystal ball, save us all. Tell me life is beautiful. Archmage Frey, to the captain, his predictions need to be 25% different. I prefer they're 100% correct. I have many predictions for season 3 for the universe in general. Might not even happen in season 3. Might be 4 or 5. I still predict that the interphasic planet from Mad Idolatry, that is the original Kalon. I truly believe, because it's just such a good story. It's my favorite prediction of all, is that the Kalon began a self-fulfilling prophecy on that planet in Mad Idolatry, and that planet existed tens, if not hundreds of thousands of years before uh, um, uh, the Kalon. That when they were traveling through the different universes, which to me is not a different universe, different time zones, that they were actually coming from tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of years in the past. Isaac visited that planet, lived with that planet for 700 years. Isaac left. They were on their best behavior the whole time Isaac was there because they have a babysitter from the stars living with them. So they're going to be on their best behavior. Isaac leaves. They're like, hey, it's kind of cool having a robot. Let's see if we can make our own robots. What do robots look like? Oh, I know what robots look like. They look like the Kalon. They built the Kalon. That whole history of the Kalon thing that we know about, where they were enslaved, all that stuff happens. It all happened on that planet. And the planet Kalon that we know now used to be that planet. Oh, but JP, that planet doesn't phase back and forth. First off, does it? Do we not know? I mean, it only happens every 700 years. Maybe it's not nothing no one talks about right now. Maybe after hundreds of thousands of years, it stopped doing that naturally on a cosmic scale. Its phasing time finished at some point. Or maybe the Kalon back in the day figured it out, or maybe the people figured out how to stop the phasing going in and out with their technologies. But anyway, I think that planet is the original Kalon. That those people are the biological Kalon. And that a big, huge surprise, a dun 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 moment in season 3 is we see remnants of those people that we knew. Maybe by the Kalon, maybe they have like a little hole in the ground, or maybe a little museum, or a warehouse where they keep remnants of the original biological Kalon, so that they can still do studies and things like that on biologicals to help them make their decisions on what they want to do. It just makes so much sense to me that planet was the original Kalon. And as a self-fulfilling prophecy, what? The Kalons wouldn't have existed if Kelly never landed on that planet and got discovered by that little girl. The Kalon never would have been invented, never would have been created. That's just some good sci-fi right there. That makes your brain go, what? So I'm hoping that they do that. Yeah, that's probably it. That is probably it, Old Man D. Very good. The thing that they find on planet Kalon in a cave or something somewhere is the Kelly statue. And that's when it all gets pieced together. Oh, man. My mind is already blown, and that hasn't even happened or not happened yet. But, man, I hope it happens. And if it does, all of you owe me a beer. And by beer, I mean however much a beer costs. I'm not going to buy a beer. I'm going to buy more bubbly. Oh, let's see. Someone's trying to get a hold of me. Let me make sure there's no emergency. No emergencies. 4 missed calls, but all BS. All the robots. Let's just make sure. Open it up. Robot calls. By the way, I'm the #1 receiver of robot calls, if you guys didn't know that. What? Let me make sure I'm not getting ripped off real quick. Got a check stub. It says you spent $5 on this. I'm like, did I spend $5? Exactly $5 on something? Cash lot. What is that? I gotta make sure I'm not getting identity theft right now. Identity theft is a crime, Jim. Is illegal. You didn't win this purchase, but your $5 purchase, March 23rd. I haven't bought anything today. Oh man, I might have to stop this stream in a second here to deal with this. I don't recognize this cash withdrawal. Damn it, you guys. You stupid freaking thieves out there. Leave good people alone. They stole $400 from Jessica a couple weeks ago. Thieves. A $5 footlong. All I know is it was charged today exactly $5, which is weird. And it's on my Yada card, which is not auto draft anything. It's right on purchase. So I need to make sure somebody didn't somehow get my Yada account. Actually, let me start with this. One great thing about these cards. By the way, if you guys want a Yada account, I highly recommend them. If you go through my, it gamifies savings, but also has a debit card you can use. If you use my account, you get like 1,000 bonus lottery tickets or something like that. Let me go to my card. Sorry, I have to stop the show for this real quick. Well, not stop it, but pause it. Go to my card. Go to the settings. Card settings. Allow transactions? No. Allow foreign transactions? Hell no, Putin. You ain't getting my card. And now nobody can use my card. You just press the thing on and off. Nobody can use my card right now. Thank you, technology. $5 today. Where the hell did that come from? Oh, I gotta check my other message. Rachel, who's a spammer. Spam. Squarespace, advertisement. Just make sure here. By the way, after this, I got to go on my Squarespace, revamp my website. All right. We are all good, and I feel secure that nobody can make charges on my card. Love it. What's going on, you guys? You prefer Baby Yada? Yeah, I've been using Yada for a couple months now. YOTTA. Don't sign up for Yada unless you have a referral code from somebody. I can get you a referral code if you just ask me for one, and we'll both get like 1,000 lotto tickets. What's great about Yada is it has a lottery every single week, and one number gets drawn every day, and you have your from spending, from saving, you get free Yada lottery tickets, right? It costs you nothing. So you get to play the lottery, but it costs nothing at all, and it just incentivizes you to save money. But I save money, but I also spend it using the Yada debit card. So I have my bills money in my bank account, but I have my fun money, going out to dinner, buying groceries on my Yada card. I use it for that. But 1 out of every 100 purchases that you make, sometimes better odds than that, depending on what you're buying, you have a chance of winning. They'll just pay for it. They don't charge you at all. That happened to me last month. I went to Taco Town and bought my whole family tacos. It was like $30 of Mexican food, and I used my Yada card, and then I looked at my phone and said, "Oh, you won this purchase for free." I got my $30 family meal for free. They charged me nothing. But also, I have won money on some of the lottery week. Just a little bit. You just win a little bit. Sometimes a lot. You can win $1 million if you get all the numbers in the Yada ball. You can win a Tesla. That's second place. If you get a certain amount of numbers in the Yada ball, you win a Tesla. Somebody has won the Tesla already, but they do it all. Anyone can win. They'll do as many Teslas as people win, but one person has won the Tesla. I don't think anyone's won 10 million yet, but people have won thousands. I've won probably 15, $20 altogether, but it's a savings account. Think of the percentage that you're getting. A regular bank will give you 0.5% interest on your savings account, which is nothing. Back in the day, it was multiple percent. Now it's absolutely nothing. It costs you money to have a savings account. But with Yada, I got a really amazing interest rate just because you win a little bit of money on those drawings a bunch of times. I got probably a 7 or 8% interest because of those winnings. It's great. But if anybody's interested in checking out Yada and you want to sign up, let me get you a referral code, because then you will win a little bit of money for free. Yeah, you wish they'd spell it Yada. Yada's probably already used on some other thing, like yada yada yada. Yeah, I always thought that too. A lot of people call it Yoda, but it is pronounced Yada. But I don't blame people for calling it Yoda. Yotta. Mark says, my credit card number was once stolen and used in New York. They bought pizza from Domino's. And they're in New York and they spend money at Domino's. Card services, and I had a laugh because you both were disappointed they didn't get your pizza, right? When I want authentic New York pizza, I go to my favorite Italian restaurant, Sparrow's. Yeah, there is a Yaddle in Star Wars. It's a female Yoda. She's like the female version of Yoda, but not as sexy as Yoda. Hey, full circle. Jaloja to you as well. Speaking of Jaloja, do the thing. Do the thing. There we go. Sometimes if it's been a while since I've done a sound drop, there's a little pause before it wakes up. Old man D. Old man D ain't what he used to be. Do you care if we post links to your site in a couple of my Facebook groups? I have found a few Orville groups who don't know about you. Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate it. That's actually one of the big things in how you support a channel is you share their links on the other places. Now, links aren't able to be shared in the chat because that feature is turned off. Because I used to get a lot of people just jumping into random live shows just to do an ad to whatever business or whatever they have. So I turned off link sharing. But yeah, on Facebook, social media, please do. I very much appreciate it. Hopefully they like the stuff. Just like with anything. May not like it, they may do. Do. Like do. I actually like Domino's too. I never order pizza. I don't even eat pizza anymore. But I like Domino's. I don't consider it authentic New York pizza at all, but Domino's changed their recipes about a decade ago, and they're all so much better than the way they used to be. They got some good stuff. I just can't handle all the bread and preservatives. I mean, I can, and that's the problem. I can handle it, but I try not to handle it. Awesome. Figured I would ask. First, some folks want to keep a low profile. As far as content creation, I want to keep the highest profile as possible. On a personal level, I always try to keep the lowest profile possible. I mean, I've had people, it happens every once in a while, but I'll be out somewhere and I hear, JP, Egotastic FunTime. I run. Hey, nice to meet you. Hope you guys are having a great day. And I run. I like being anonymous. I like when I go out, I'm all about anonymity. Nice, James. James has a Orville fan Discord server. See, that's awesome. That's I love hearing fans of the show, any show, supporting their show that way. That's how IPs grow. That's how people find them and become fans. Enjoying a show is great, but being a part of a fandom, that's when things really take off. It's like with sports, sports ball. We're like, oh, I like the Cowboys, but I'm sure that's not as fun to them as being part of the fandom, where they're watching the game and if their team wins, they feel like they won. They're talking to other fans about, the goals and the touchdowns and all that stuff, and somebody's score. Portis is doing really well this season. That type of thing. That's where fandom really lives. A show comes and goes. An episode starts and it ends. season starts and it ends. What happens after that? The fandom. They live their lives in that universe together. They sing songs of the time the Union drove away the Kalon with the help of the Krill. Space shanties are sung in bars across the planet, you guys. That's a fandom. That's what we have. I drove for Domino's, Little Caesars, Godfather's, and then Domino's again. Domino's, Little Caesars, pizza. I remember when Little Caesars first hit the scene, they had the worst damn pizza ever. It's not so bad now. It's not like the highest quality, but it's edible now. Get some good. You can get some good yum yums out of your mouth with a Little Caesars pizza. John Palange, what's going on? What's up, JP? Finally caught a live stream. Oh, I've been seeing a lot of names I have not seen in a long time doing this early morning stream, which for me is now past noon. Just made it past noon over my part of the galaxy, you guys. Thomas, what's going on? Hello from New Jersey, JP. I stayed in New Jersey, in Jersey City for a week. The first time I went to New York, it's expensive to stay in New York. It's expensive to stay anywhere. I could barely afford to stay in this little house that I'm in. But Jersey City was right there by the subway that takes you right into Manhattan. And so I stayed in Jersey City for a while. I loved it. I thought it was great. John Palange. Oh, here. I can't wait. I'm going to have a sign, an Orville sign on the wall from John. Successfully hit the UPS store today. That Orville sign should be to you on Saturday. Oh, that's a good day. Saturdays are my hanging days. That's the day I hang things. So that's the perfect timing right there. Joy Dawn, we'll see ya. I wonder how Mockless, forgive my spelling, that looks right, is going to change now that there are kind of two worlds. Also, we need more Dolly. One, we definitely need more Dolly. Two, I don't think the government of Mockless is going to change. I think Mockless is going to have the beginnings of a revolution once their society finds out all the lies their leaders have been telling them for generations and generations and generations. I've always had my theory that way back in the day, back when Mockless television was in black and white, that there were male and female Mockless. Now we do know on Mockless that the conditions of their world are very hard to survive in. Typically in most species, males are the strongest of a species. Probably it's more likely that a male would survive, be able to fight the conditions, right? I'm guessing because of that, they evolved to feel that women were inferior in the way of survival of the species. Maybe they figured out how to have males help keep the population going without females. Maybe they always were able to both genders lay eggs. Whatever the case, I think because of the conditions of the planet, that the male species decided that the females were in the way. They were in the way of keeping the species going, and they probably either killed them off at first, or at least tried to breed them out of society because they were a problem. They couldn't help in their eyes as much as they were supposed to. They couldn't lift boulders or whatever. And I'm thinking they either bred them out of their society or killed them off. And then once they figured out how to do it genetically with surgeries or whatever, then it became a more humane process. And so they've been lying to society that once society went on long enough for people to kind of forget that females ever existed, they were able to pick up that story and keep it going as their big lie. There never was women, but yeah, there was. Just like people say, oh, there was never Loch Ness monsters. Yeah, there was. There totally was a Loch Ness monster and a Bigfoot and unicorn. Don't believe the man when they're trying to tell you unicorns didn't exist. I saw a unicorn, guys. I saw unicorn skeletons in a cave in North Korea. So don't tell me. And if anyone ever believes what I'm saying right now, that's on you. Mark Lawrence, thank you very much for becoming an official channel member again. You've been a member for 7 months. Thanks for the renewal of the Jaloja squad. Yeah, and Mark says, gotta have a statue of Dolly Parton on the Mocklin female world with a placard, humble but strong. Since she turns down so many awards. She just recently did turn down an award. I don't got time for this. I do it for the fans. Thank you very much. Let's do a nice big and Mark got me there. But behind every successful man is a strong Mark Lawrence, guys. And I mean that in the least dirtiest way possible. That's awesome. You need to get to the Jersey Shore in the summer. There's nothing like it. So happy you have been. Keep the Orville love alive, bro. That's what I plan. Even after the Orville is done and kaput forever, someday, far from now, in the galaxy, right here, galaxy, I plan on doing that in some way or form because the Orville has transformed my life. I'm not living pretty, but I feel like I've won. They're going to skip the Mocklin civilization conversation by having the Kalon wipe them out early to up the stakes. Oh, I can see that. Save some time. I want the conversation because I just want to see how things play out and how they write it, but I can see that happening as well. And we'll let Bortus and Clyden, basically the last two male Mocklins, let them have the conversation. Because that would happen. And I can even see Bortus reverting a little bit in honor of his entire people. That stuff kind of happens. People revert back to their bad ways for some symbolic reason. Chronocosh Productions. Wait a second. How can the males lay eggs? Well, it is a fun little joke that they did. When Bortus told Ed that Mocklins lay eggs, he's like, "But eggs? You really lay eggs? What? That must be uncomfortable." And Bortus says, "Yes, it is uncomfortable." So they're kind of making a joke that either comes out of his penis or his bootay. But I'm guessing even male Mocklin genitalia is way different than what we thought. A lot of their body is way different than humans. So I'm guessing their genitalia is a little bit different too. Usually animals that lay eggs, they have vents. Vents for everything. Vents for number 1, number 2, and the proverbial number 3, a child. And so I'm guessing Mocklins have a vent down. Unless they want to keep the joke going. I have chickens, so I get it. The sound of silence. All I know is you can always tell if a Mocklin is is laying an egg because if they say this during the off season. You hear that next door? He's laying an egg. Oh, so sorry, you guys. You haven't heard any of the sound drops, have you? There's Jessica. Jessica, where are you going? Oh, all right. I'll be right back, you guys. I forgot I did that for safety. I locked my door because I have reasons to try to be safe right now. So when I'm busy doing one of these shows, I lock the door so I can't be surprised by an invader. 1 second. Okay, I'm safe. Jessica's here. She's watching my back. Quick, while he's gone, move everything 1 inch to the left. Can you just stand, take 3 steps to the left a little bit? Okay, perfect. Right in the middle. This is kind of distracting me. Amokla Ada. Sorry guys, let's catch up on some sound drops. Man, I've been doing these sound drops the whole time. And I try to remind myself to allow the sound drops to come through.
Hobo clowns are the most dangerous because they're hungry.
You guys have just been watching me go with no sound. God, you letting me act like a fool like that? So embarrassed. Yeah, Lady Jessica fixed the sound drops. It's a miracle. She's a miracle, so it makes sense. I thank Avis for her every single day. Nate says, the Orville is not a parody of Star Trek. It is an homage to the vision and legacy of Gene Roddenberry, Seth MacFarlane. He did good. Yeah, it's never been a parody. A lot of people thought it was going to be a parody. And so when it turned out to be a legit show with heart and good writing, they hated it. They're like, oh, we wanted something stupid. And so they hated it. And then, but the fans loved it. And so when season 2 came out, all the critics, they gave it 100%. 100% the Orville got, because they knew that that's what the audience expected. They're only going to give critics review things in a way that will get them, that they predict will get them the most views. So if they predict that they should hate something, they will hate it. If they predict that they should like something, they will like it. If they have any credibility at all, they'll do a little bit of both. Or just like a thing, or not talk about it at all, unless it's really horrible. There are things that are horrible. But you know what's not horrible? Dr. Sleep. I watched that last night. I've seen it before. I saw it in the theater when it first came out, but I watched it again last night. Man, that's a damn good movie. If you're a fan of The Shining at all, you don't have to be a fan of The Shining to love this movie, but if you are, you get kind of tingly watching it. It's pretty great. Especially if you've read the book. Not Dr. Sleep, but The Shining. I don't know how the ending of Dr. Sleep compares to the end of the movie, like the book and the movie. I don't know if the endings are the same, because, you know, The Shining movie is so different than the book. Both are amazing in their own rights. They're both two different things, practically. But if the book ended the same way the movie ended of Dr. Sleep, then that can't happen in the book, because what happened in the movie was only able to happen because the ending of the movie was so different. But that ending would not work for the ending of the book, because the book would be going off of the original Shining book. So I'm guessing the endings of the book and the movie are very different. But the movie had a ending that worked very well with the original movie, Shining. Books, movies, it's all getting mixed up, you guys. But yeah. So I think maybe they took Dr. Sleep, the book, I'm guessing, and it said, hey, let's do what they did with the Shining movie, is they did a whole new thing for it. And we'll make our ending line up with the movie. Critics are a dumpster fire. They are. That's why I don't even consider myself a critic. I just consider myself a reactor. Or when it comes to the Orville, I don't do Orville reviews. I do Orville celebration. I'm gonna love it. If I do anything with the Orville, I'm gonna love it. Whatever I say is gonna say, I loved it when they did this. I love it when they did that. And here's why I think they did this. I try to go into the whys, the reason, and wisecrack a little bit. That's what the Orville does. And there's something to be said about the thing. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I'm like, go ahead and say something if you want to say something, but just ask yourself, does anybody need to hear this? Do I have to say something about everything? Because so many people are talking about having an opinion on everything, whether they know about it or not. There's too many opinions being thrown around about everything, good and bad. All right, Captain Caveman, time to go and fill this big, bootyful body with food. I remember. You guys have a good one. Caveman signing off. Go get you a big bone stick of meat. That's worthy of a caveman's taste bud. Thank you, James. James says JP is my #1 source for truthful Orville news. I try to always keep it with the truth and the facts. Like even, back in the day when I broke that Halston was leaving the Orville, and she did, and I gave my reasons. I think it was, she was dating Seth, because all this, there was, clues to all of this stuff when I did all my research. I said, oh, I think it's the relationship. And then now she's leaving because it didn't work out. And I still think a lot of that could be true. But the Orville officially gave an announcement of their side of the story about with writing the script. And they wanted to have a different type of character, which I agree with. And I won't say why. And so once they answered that question, I'm like, okay, I'm letting go of my prediction, or my statement, whether it's true or not, because that's not the official statement anymore. Once the statement becomes official, that's what I go with. And so I did that 3 years ago. I mentioned a little bit of that in a video from 2 weeks ago. People were like, oh, you're changing your story, this is that. I'm like, no, we addressed this 3 years ago. I can't help it. I can't talk about the same thing for 3 years in every video to help you keep up. You got to go keep track of all my videos. Nobody wants to hear the same story over and over and over and over and over and over again, especially if it's been addressed. That's bad video making. That's bad keeping the attention of your audience. That's basically how cable news works. Last thing I want to be is cable news. I addressed it years ago. It's actually my most popular video. It's got a few 100,000 views and still gets views today. But once it became official news, that's what we talk about, and we move forward from that, instead of keeping the stone circle going. Because like I said, I don't do things to make money. I do things to keep people informed and keep people having fun. And if I was doing things for money, I'd still be talking about how I really hated season 1 of Discovery. And I could do that, and I can make money doing that, and it would make money, but that just doesn't feel good. I want to be able to wake up in the morning and not feel like a Opsada bag. A poop wine bag. Though I hear poop wine bags are awesome. They're kind of like poop wine boxes, but with less you don't have to throw away cardboard. And the bags are biodegradable. Opinions are dumpster fires. I agree with that. I agree with that on everything. On my opinion. Instead of talking about things, people are wanting to share their opinion on whatever the thing is. Which means no one is listening. The more you're sharing your opinion, and there are perfectly good times to share your opinion, but people don't share their opinion, they force their opinion. I'm like, let's just listen to each other for a little while. Can't we all just get along? Give chatting a chance. Don't do things to make money. Do things to make memories. There you go. We're making memories. I mean, sometimes it hurts. I'm like, man, I should have spouted off a bunch of BS, made some money. But I'm like, I can't do it. One of the very few things I'm proud of. I try my best. I'm not always successful, but I try my best. Deloja fans everywhere. Deloja Orville fans. Oh, I get it. I just start making up. I put my own words into people's statements. Justin Wilson, I guarantee. Deloja Orville fans. James says, hey guys, did you know that you can challenge PJ, or maybe JP, to change your mind about the Orville? I did it and he accepted the challenge. All right. Wait, you didn't like the Orville first, right? And then you decided you did, not the other way around? And Discovery isn't worth wasting breath on. Some Discovery I've liked, the newer stuff. And there was even moments in season 2 I'm like, oh, that's cool, but then it kind of just undid some of the things that I liked. But there's just little things. There was little things in season 2 of Discovery that I liked. But like I used to say when I used to talk about those shows, I want at least 51. I want to like at least 51% of anything that I watch. And if I like 51%, then I think we're doing pretty good. But they never really quite made it up to that 51%. Season 3, I was along for the ride the whole time. They caught my attention with episode 1. They caught my attention with getting the hell out of the timeline and getting 1,000 years in the future. I'm like, oh, we're going forward in the time, in a Star Trek timeline. And I was along for the ride. I decided to be so. And man, does it help to make a decision not to hate something and let it affect you as a new thing. Season 4, I was very interested in checking out. Watched episode 1, just wasn't feeling it. But I will go back and complete the latest season for sure. But also, it's not my big Star Trek jam. My big Star Trek jam, as far as the new stuff goes, has been Lower Decks and Picard. And I have nothing to say about Strange New Worlds opinion-wise yet because it's not out yet. There's no reason to have an opinion on it until I see it. Which is smart for anyone on anything going on. Wait to have an opinion until you know what the thing is. Very few people do that anymore. And I used to be just guilty on anything, not just Star Trek or TV shows. Anything in life. I'd have an opinion on it before I even knew anything about it. But I am confident in the Strange New Worlds will be decent. But what does that mean? I know people loved Prodigy, even though it's not for any of us really. It's for kids, but it's one of those kid things that you kind of get into as an adult. A lot of people did. I watched the first episode. I thought it was fine, but I wasn't really planning on just keep watching it. But some of that's because of my own personal life. I'm just trying not to watch so much stuff. Archmage says, here's my personal gauge. Would you want to watch it again? That's important, I think. There's no Discovery I have any desire to watch again. Picard Season 2, I can see myself watching it again. Ending dependent. Here's the thing. When Picard Season 1 came out, I was one of the people that really liked it. It was the human condition related. That's the thing that always attracts me. The character. What's going on inside the character. And so I was very interested in it. I watched it because I reviewed it. I had to watch it like each episode 3 times, like right off the bat. So I did that and I enjoyed all of it. And I was like, man, I would totally rewatch this. And then months went by and I was like, man, I'm in the mood to watch Picard. But I was like, do you really want to watch a whole thing? You can't just jump into an episode. You have to watch the whole thing. I was like, nah, not really. It's grabbing me where I want to just keep rewatching it. And as much as I love season 2, and I'm probably going to watch every episode 3 or 4 times, I'll probably be done with it after it's done. And I'll wait next year or a year and a half from now when we get the next one. It probably won't be that long for the next one because I think they're filming them back to back. They're like, let's get it filmed while we can. But a lot of the new Star Trek, whether you like it or not, and lots of people absolutely love it. So many different types of groups are just discovering Star Trek. I personally don't see it as nearly as rewatchable as episodic Star Trek. Episodic Star Trek, you can jump into any series, any episode, and you'll get a full story, and you'll understand what's going on, beginning, middle, end. Serialized stuff, you have to start from the beginning. I mean, if you're just new to Breaking Bad, you don't just start with a random episode of Breaking Bad or a random episode of Lost. You have to start from the beginning. You have to get into that universe to understand what it is and what's going on and all the different relationships and all that and how they work together. So you have to start from the beginning. You don't watch a movie starting in the second act. I mean, some people do, but because they're playing on their phones. So just as far as rewatchable, I mean, you're going to be able to turn on live television anytime in your life for many years to come and find random episodes of Star Trek, Legacy Star Trek, original series, Voyager, DS9, TNG. I don't know if Enterprise is played, but it should be, and it could be, and it probably is somewhere. You'll be able to find random episodes of that throughout your life for a very long time. All the new stuff is not going to be showing up on random TV. It's just not going to happen. So it's not going to be able to build that real hardcore fandom that really knows the ins and outs of it. And you know, that's just kind of the way of TV series now. There's so much to compete with. And there's so much to compete with. That's another reason you don't get a ton of episodes of anything anymore. Besides everything being way too expensive, incredibly expensive to make, there's too much competition. If you're going to put something on random reruns, what are you going to pick? There's too many things, too many options for people not to watch your live rerun on regular television. They're going to go pick the thing that they want to watch when they want to watch it, after they're done doing the things they want to do and eat the, you know, going out to eat with their friends. And when it's time to crack into that gallon of ice cream, they're going to be watching stuff on TV when they want. They're going to Netflix and chill. And the ice cream is chill. Regular TV just doesn't work for our way of life. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't care. Depends on the person, what they prefer. I'll just put on the antenna and watch antenna television and watch old episodes of Johnny Carson and be completely happy. But some people, they got some shows to watch on Peacock and Netflix, Paramount Plus, and whatever Plus, and Apple Plus, and Minus Plus, and Plus Long Division. All those things. There's a million of them. There's a lot of stuff on Apple TV that seems really interesting. I don't have Apple TV. I was like, hey, you know what? I'll cancel Disney Plus, which I hardly use. I'll sign up for Apple TV for a month or two. Check out all the stuff I want to see. I want to watch Severance. That looks amazing. But then I was like, what am I doing that for? Just to watch more things? Like, I got plenty of amazing things to watch and all this other stuff I got. All right, Nate. Thanks for stopping by. Nate says, hey, JP, I have to go now. The stream, love the stream. Keep up the good work and always try to have fun. But keep it legal. Legal fun, you guys. You don't want none of this illegal fun. Because you will be taken down. Happens all the time. Someone's just out there, hey, let's have some illegal fun. And then they do it. They're not having fun at all anymore. They're in jail. Legal fun. It's the law. I like the new Star Trek movie, Star Trek 11 from 2009. I also like Star Trek 2009 because I did not connect it to Star Trek at all. I'm like, this is a new thing. This is a new universe. It's a new Star Trek. It's a remake. It's a reboot, a remake of a TV series from 40, 50 some years ago. Just like when they remade the movie Matt LeBlanc, the Lost in Space movie. I pictured it all like that, and so I had a great time with it. It was exactly what it needed to be. Tone, script-wise, story-wise, I did not like Into Darkness, but I did not let that affect my opinion going into Star Trek Beyond. And I was in a fun mood when I went in to see Star Trek Beyond, and I had a fun time watching because it was just a dumb movie having fun. It had some cool aliens and some cool moments. But I do want to give Into Darkness a chance. It's not important to me to give it a chance. I don't care if I like it or not. But I do want to check it out, give it a fresh critique in my mind. I do not watch Mythic Quest. But I like the word quest. Galaxy Quest. Yeah, I thought it was fun. He was on the motorcycle. Just having some dumb, campy 1960s fun, but in a big to-do movie of today. Vendetta Wild, what's going on? Kevin Nicholson, I love Foundations. Yeah, I keep hearing things about Foundation. Yeah, Severance, I want to see Severance. I'm a huge Adam Scott fan. I'm a huge office job type storyline type of. I like those types of storylines that happen in an office, workplace, because I have a lot of opinions on workplaces. And then I love the fact that it's supposed to be weird. I like weird stuff, like Lost was weird. And so put all those together, I really want to check it out. And it's got mysteries, like the audience that are watching, they're like, what the hell is going on? I have no idea what's going on. Like back with Lost. Lost was one of my favorite fandom times. Because that was one of the Lost was one of the last times that you actually have water cooler conversations about a TV show. Those days are over. Everybody's watching different TV shows because too many TV shows. But Lost was a lot of fun to be a fan of back in the day. Just like Battlestar Galactica, the reboot was so much fun to be a part of. I miss the water cooler conversation where everyone's watching a show and no one knows what's going on, so you're all asking each other and coming up with theories. Those days are gone. As far as like in real life, you have to find that online nowadays. Marcos says, I feel much better without Discovery. Yeah, all you got to do is not watch it, and it doesn't exist. That's how I live my life. Mark Termel, dang, JP is live, and I was about to jump in the shower. Hello, y'all. And to give you a morning dad joke, don't jump in the shower. It's dangerous. Stand there. But don't. You'll have a hard time rewatching Into Darkness with your hatred for Section 31. That's true. I do not like Section 31 is actually great storyline. Actually a great thing, not for Star Trek, in my opinion. All right, Severance, so good. I tried to watch the because you can watch Severance for free. The first episode is free. The first episode of everything on Apple Plus is free because they're trying to get you sucked in. And so I pressed on it to watch it, and then you have to sign in with your iTunes or whatever. And I was like, iTunes? I haven't had iTunes since 2007. And I was like, I have to create a whole new iTunes account and then have stupid iTunes, which is one of the worst spammers ever. If you have iTunes, they're always notifying you on your computer. Oh, don't forget to update your iTunes. Keep iTunes. iTunes is part of your life. Be one with the iTunes. That's one reason I stopped using iTunes. I got so sick of it, of their crap. iTunes is just the music version of Facebook. But you have to have an Apple account or whatever. Maybe when I'm sitting on my computer and I'm really bored, maybe I'll get it all signed up and do it because I do want to see that. Trey Chester, hello to you, sir. And hello, everyone. I don't know about you, but come on, June. Come on, June. Play me a tune from the 25th century. Thanks, JP, for getting me to watch that time travel show, Making History with Gordon's Girlfriend. Oh, Leighton Meester is one of the stars of Making History, and she is great. She is great. She is seriously funny. If you guys have not watched Making History, if you like the Orville, the vibe of Making History, the comedy vibe that the Orville has, Making History has, you'll absolutely love the show. One season is available, legit time travel, legit stories connecting with each other, craziness. I highly recommend watching Making History. It came out the year before the Orville, probably by the same production. It was on Fox. It got canceled. The Orville came our way. You will probably feel like the star of Making History could be related to Gordon. Yeah, too bad it was canceled. I would have kept watching that show. I have not watched the Pagan Frost Truth Seeker show on Amazon yet, but it is on my list. I do have it in my saved watch list. Where do I listen to music? I listen to music a lot of times I just literally find playlists on YouTube because I'm always in front of this computer working on something. Either that or my Alexa, which she doesn't go by that name in this room, or I use the horrible service called Spotify. Spotify is a great service. They're just horrible for creators. But yeah, I like Spotify. Pandora is a great service as well, but I use Spotify. I just found that with Spotify, I was able to do have a little bit more control of playlists and finding music that way. I prefer Spotify. But just so you guys know, if you care about musicians, Spotify is horrible. They don't pay nothing. Do you think we have a chance of seeing an Orville Blu-ray now that Hulu has it? I think we absolutely have a chance of seeing Orville Blu-ray release now that they're with Hulu, because Hulu puts out Blu-rays. Fox does not unless it's a special occasion. But whether or not it's going to be the first 2 seasons, I don't know yet. But I'm positive we'll get New Horizons on Blu-ray. But whether or not Fox will say, "Hey, go ahead and throw these first 2 seasons on there as well," that we'll have to wait and see. Now, Fox is still in the game, still part of the Orville. The Orville right now, and you will see it when season 3 drops. It'll say 20th Century Television. 20th Century, that is Fox. Fox owns, or at least used to own, still kind of does if you think about it, owns Hulu. Hulu is a Fox joint. And now Disney owns Fox. Disney owns the majority share of Hulu, but it's still all the same thing. Disney, Fox, Hulu is all the same thing. The show is still filmed on the same set on the Fox lot. Lot 15, lot 17, and then sometimes they use a couple of other lots for other types of sets. But lot 15 is the big one, and it's not far from the main street. Thanks, Davey. This is my season 2 Orville production hat, given to me by a Fox affiliate. Don't I'll have to check out Making History. I highly recommend it. It seems like it's not going to go to very many places in the first couple episodes, but then, man, it takes off, and you're like, oh man, this is crazy. You got some really cool time travel stories going on, and some thinkers. Because, the rules with time travel is always weird. But they come up with some episodes where you're really thinking about that time travel. Like, I didn't think about it that way. Plus, it's a silly comedy as well. Does she sing in Making History? That I don't recall. But if she did sing, it's probably going to be a song you don't care about. Some old-timey thing. Orville VHS box set that takes up an entire room with multiple boxes that you put them together and the pictures all match up and make one big picture. Extended long play. Until they get their collective heads out of their posteriors, I made my own Blu-rays of season 1 and 2. I will gladly retire them and buy the official ones if it happens. Yeah, especially because there'll be extra features and cool menus and stuff like that. The DVD releases of the first 2 seasons had extras. There were great extras, but they were already all available on YouTube, all those extras. I'm guessing we'll get some really special stuff. Maybe even some cool, you're able to do cool things with these extra features now. Games, adventures where you can choose what happens. You never know. There's so many cool things, and the Orville is always about going the extra mile, especially with this season. You get the beta tape collection. I remember beta. I remember going to the video stores and they had the beta section. Not having a Blu-ray of seasons 1 and 2 really hurts. DVD quality video for something like Identity is a crime. Yeah, I always watch everything. I watch the Orville all the time, and I watch it. I purchased to help support the show back in the day. I have both seasons owned, HD, all that stuff on Amazon Prime. I purchased them. I own them. And I can watch them on my TV. I can watch them on my phone. I can watch them on my computer. They're all HD stuff going on. Last thing I'm ever going to do ever in my life is put a disc in something to watch it. That part of my life is over. Doesn't have to be over for everyone else. Everyone's got all the cool stuff they like, the different things they like to do. Putting that vinyl on the tray and spinning and putting the needle, all that stuff. I will never be putting a disc in anything ever again. It's dirty to me. That's nasty. Yes, absolutely. Rip Norm McDonald. Norm will be missed. Yaphet will not be missed this season. Yaphet is fully in season 3 New Horizons. Norm was able to get all of his voiceover stuff completed before he got super sick and passed on. What they're going to do with Yaphet, I don't know. Are they going to do any changes to Yaphet's story in this season, I do not know. They might have already written Yaphet's stories way before, because these scripts were written years ago at this point. Where maybe they had Yaphet, maybe they already had Yaphet moving on at some point. It's just coincidence. I'm hoping Yaphet finds a girlfriend, falls in love, and wants to follow her and go get ready for that jelly somewhere in space. Yeah, but you don't truly own the Amazon release. They tied to an account or DRM. I need a real physical compression. Oh, I get it. People like to have that real stuff. But yeah, I do own the Orville as long as Amazon exists. As long as Amazon has a watching platform, I do own the Orville. But also I own the Orville because I record them all. I have copies as well of everything. Because I need them. I'm always needing them to cut scenes out of and use them in my content, stuff like that. But yeah, if it closes down, which of course this planet will be called Amazon Prime in another 100 years or so. This we know. This we don't have to discuss. We know it all. We know this to be true. Right now, you are sitting in the future Amazon Prime. Oh yeah, we got a lot more Yaphet in season 3. I remember when we were worried that Yaphet wouldn't be in season 2. We had no reason to believe that. Someone just was worried about something and it became a topic of discussion. Most things people complain about, by the way, are just things they fear that aren't even true, but they have a fear about it, which of course is natural. We're humans. All we do is fear things. But most of the things people complain about is a fear that they came up with, their mind did, not even their fault, and then they worry about it as if it's true. And they worry about it so much that to other people it does become true. And it spreads like wildfire. I've watched it happen over and over and over again. Thomas, how you doing? Hey JP, hey Thomas. Yaphet could hook up with Rob Lowe. Well, they already had a little touchy-feely stuff going on in season 1 in Cupid's Dagger. If you rewatch that episode, you will see that Derulio does finger Yaphet. His finger goes in there a little bit. All right, thanks for stopping by, Thomas. I'm glad you stopped by to say hi. Ooh, I wonder if you can pass your Amazon purchases down to your prodigy. Absolutely. All one must do is share their they put them on a family plan. It doesn't cost anything. You just go to your settings in Amazon, you build your family network. These are the people that are on it. You can have one other adult and you can have a couple of kids, their accounts on there, and they're allowed to have access to whatever you have access to digitally. Do you have a favorite character overall? Well, there are so many amazing characters in the Orville and many more to come. The character I identify with the most, and I'm always down for an adventure that they're going on and how it works out, is Kelly. I identify with Kelly's backstory the most. I identify with her emotions, the way she feels about things, the way she feels about Ed, the way she refrains from going too far with Ed because of a duty. I'm never gonna not do that. How I said duty. Kelly's my favorite, but man, what's not to love? So many characters. Yaphet fan, Gordon fan. Everyone probably assume Gordon's my favorite character. I love Gordon, but one that I just feel is a real person is Kelly. John, amazing. Ed, come on. Dan is my spirit animal. Blue green goo all over the place. Yeah, a lot of blue. Now I'm assuming there are other colored Retepsians, just because in one of the episodes, the pilot episode, I believe, Ed said a blue Retepsian. Now, if Retepsians were all blue, they would just say Retepsian. It's like in, Chinese people don't call it Chinese food, they call it food. Same thing. They would say a Retepsian, and you would just know that they said blue. Makes me think they might come in other colors. It could be green, it could be white, like the Andorians. We found out that there was albino Andorian. So I'm very interested to see a different colored Retepsian. We did see a couple of Retepsians in the episode Sanctuary in that committee room where they're having that big old meeting of what to do about these silly women Mocklin. That meeting, we saw 2 blue Retepsians in there that were not Durulio. I was hoping they would put another color in there. But also, that was the pilot episode. The show could just decide, hey, we haven't done it, so let's just not do it. Retepsians are blue. Ed just said blue Retepsian because he was complaining about the colors that was all over his walls. Maybe it's like when someone describes a white ass cracker. We know that cracker has a white ass. You don't have to say white ass. That's redundant. But you say it for effect. It could be like that. Dan is your spirit rock. Jenny Turco will be returning. Kyra Santaro, I think that's her name. Jenny Turco is returning for season 3. I was following the adventures of Kyra. I think that's how you say her name. As she was going to the studio every day during her scenes. I follow her on Instagram and now on Twitter. I found out she popped up on Twitter, so I followed her there. But yeah, she'll be back as well. I don't know how much. I don't know how deep into her story they go. But she will be featured as one of the women of the Orville in my upcoming video coming up in a week or so. You watch your candor, pigskin. Absolute candor? Or just regular candor? What color is Retepsian Geloja? Man, that is a good question. What color is their blood? I guess it's not the case because, you got lizards and stuff that are green and you cut them and they bleed red. Is that the case with a Retepsian? I'm guessing their blood is also blue because it's sci-fi. That's how sci-fi works. On Earth, everything's red for the most part, no matter what color you are or the thing is. But in sci-fi, your blood is usually the color of your skin. Except for I don't see a bunch of Pepto-Bismol colored Klingons walking around. So what color would their pee be? Yellow and blue make green. Could be green. Bye. Jessica's camera shy. So she's stuck in and said hi, which is good. I hate for her to leave and me not be able to say goodbye. Justin to Davey says, I'm torn. I do want to see Kelly and Ed reconcile. Yes. But I'd really like Talia and Ed hooking up too. I'd like Talia and Ed to have some sort of relationship, not necessarily romantic, but they got things to get over with each other besides romance stuff. They got opinions, worldviews to really talk about. Though I could see it totally being a thing that comes up because the heart wants what the heart wants. And despite their differences, there was some heart stuff going on between the both of them. One of which Talia is really trying to ignore. Ed's not ignoring it so much, but he understands the complications of the relationship. I hope that's addressed in season 3. I absolutely 100% want Ed and Kelly to get back together, but as Seth also feels this way because he has said this. He goes, yes, we want them to get back together, but man, that's way down. That's got to be way down the line. Hopefully, the last couple episodes of the last season. And I know that they did not make. They gave this season a satisfying conclusion, but they did not treat it like it's the last season. They treated it as if it has to be the last season, people will be satisfied. It does not have to be the last season. And I know that for a fact that Seth, the cast, and the crew are all up and hoping for a fourth season. It just all depends on those numbers coming in. John says this channel has reached a new level of analysis. Hopefully, we'll always be striving to do better and to go deeper into this world, into this fandom. When I first started this channel, when I first started doing content creation, JP, me, was a character I created, kind of like Chris Pratt on a lot of things that he does, but on Parks and Recreation, where he's lovable but he's kind of dumb. I hope I'm lovable, but I'm dumb about many things. All of us are. We're smart on some things, dumb on other things. But I've never considered myself a dumb person. I mean, I like to think deep on things. I like things that attract me are the human condition. That's the biggest one. I like to see the humanity in everything that I watch, especially sci-fi, especially alien worlds, these storylines. I like to see the humanity in it. I look for that, and I like to see motivation, emotional motivation. How does this character think? Why did they think that way? And why do they react to situations the way they do? And this is the same thing I do in the real life. People in front of me acting in certain ways. I'm always thinking, why are they acting this way? Where is it coming from? What happened to them? Why do they make the decisions that they make? That's a big thing for me. It always has been. But I remember when I first started this channel, it was about a year or two. I was like, man, I got these things that I think are kind of smart that I want to talk about, but that kind of goes against the whole lovable dumb JP character. So I just didn't for a long time. Then I finally said, you know what? I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off and just talk about some serious stuff once in a while. And so now, especially during these live conversations, we really get into some deep stuff, not only here on YouTube, but on the Twitch channel as well. The Twitch channel is very much talk about what you want to talk about. So sometimes we'll go into, death. We'll go into loss. I'll also go into more dick jokes. It really gets mixed up on the Twitch channel. Link is down below. If you want to take part in that and have some of the fun. So on Twitch, stuff is just like this. We're just talking about whatever we want to talk about. And then we throw in some watch parties here and there for extra fun. I'm going to find a really fun movie for us to watch. And the watch parties are great because I watch on the watch parties, I only watch things except for some special occasions. So I'm going to try to figure out a whole new Horizons watch party thing that we can do together as the new season coming out. I think I got it figured out. But on watch parties, like we're watching movies and TV shows and stuff, I do it all from Amazon. All of it's from Amazon because Amazon owns Twitch. So if you attach your Amazon account to Twitch, they have a sign in and all that stuff. You can watch whatever I'm watching. If it's available in your region, in your area on Amazon Prime, you can watch it with me. You just go to my page. I'm talking. We're all talking together. And the movie or TV show will be playing right there on my page. Clear as day. You individually can turn off or turn on the subtitles. You can turn the volume up, turn it down. You can turn me up, turn me down. Level it the way you want to level it. And I'll be part of the conversation. And now it works on mobile. So a lot of people that weren't able to take part in the actual watch, the thing we're watching because it didn't work on mobile, and now it works on mobile. So that's a great reason to bring back the watch parties. Click the Twitch link below to join all the fun. Commercials. Segways. You ever ridden a Segway? I've never ridden a Segway. I always wanted to ride a Segway, but I haven't seen a Segway in years. Do Segways still exist? You can let me know by typing in the comments below. YouTube stuff. I like making fun of YouTube culture. Don't forget to click the like button. Yeah, I like my old goofy stuff too. And now I just try to mix it up. I try to be both. I try to be everything. Say smart brain stuff, and then all of a sudden say the dumbest thing I could think of. And the dumber it is, the funnier it is to me. I will never not love dumb humor. Oh, they're replaced by all the scooters. Duh. That makes total sense, Kevin. I did not even think of that. And I love those scooters. Can't really afford all the scooters all the time, but man, every once in a while you get on one of them scooters, a couple bucks. Oh, they're fun. If all aliens gelogia different colors, then that P corner must have been a gorgeous art piece. Oh yeah. It was called yellow. But with rainbow yellow. Yeah, I could totally make. It would totally make sense that different aliens pee in different colors because they all have different physiology that reacts different to their food that also has different physiology to our own science. Everything reacts, on a cellular level. There's a reason why our pee is green or is yellow, and sometimes not as yellow, and sometimes too yellow, sometimes orange. And if your pee is orange or brownish orange, you need to work on your diet a little bit. Too much toxins going on in. Segways are electronic dumpster fires on wheels. You got that right. Dumb humor fan, eh? Oh, I love it. I love dad jokes, and I love them because they're dumb. Puns are my favorite because of how dumb they are. And because of how dumb, and sometimes they're so dumb that you only could have written that if it was written by a clever person. Some of the cleverest jokes in the world are puns, even though they're dumb. Well, I can relate. I own a copy of Biodome on Blu-ray. Biodome. He's the Juice. Of course, that was Man, but Pauly Shore. Rainbow Snow. There's got to be an alien race out there in sci-fi somewhere that pees snowflakes. Got to happen. Hey, you missed my music question earlier. Do you ever just chill to instrumental music? If so, in what context? Yes. Sometimes I chill to the Orville soundtrack, scores and stuff like that. Not for a long time, but might spend an hour or so. Because instrumental music is great for content creators. You're writing something, you're editing something. Instrumental music is not going to affect your flow of what you're creating or doing. Music with lyrics will interrupt you so bad. You hear a lyric, your brain just starts going off, or you start singing along, something like that. I am horrible. If we went out to a restaurant together, and and all of a sudden I can hear way off in the distance over the speakers, just some song that I like, I am no longer hearing what you were saying, and I am going along with that song and singing along in my brain, thinking about it. And if it's an older song, I might be reminiscing about where I first heard it or some memory of that song. But instrumental, you can enjoy it. It affects your mood, but you can still get stuff done. A lot of times, if I'm listening to music while creating, it'll be like some lo-fi beats, something like that. Because you could still work. I mean, I can. I mean, other people are different. I'm sure some people are fine with it. Me, I get distracted by music. Because music's in my family, music's in my DNA. I play music. Like, I have a very hard time ignoring. Now JP can officially tell dad jokes with impunity or impunity. Can't blame me. I got impunity. Yeah, just don't eat the rainbow snow. Yeah, the best thing you can get from a pun Like I do puns all day, every day. Anybody says something, my brain always comes up with something instantly. It's a pun, and I do not want a laugh. I don't want anyone laughing at my pun. I want them rolling their eyes back as hard as they freaking can, as hard as their brain will make them do it. A pun is not for laughs; it is for an eye roll. And if I can get somebody seeing the back of their skull, I am tickled pink, cracker pink. And Jessica's the same way. She's great at puns as well. I watched Don't Look Up last night. I love that movie. Depressingly accurate satire. Yeah, those types of movies are rare. Those types of scripts are rare, and it so speaks upon our current culture and where our culture is going. And I have no doubt. I mean, it wouldn't be as bad as it shows in this movie, but there would be a little bit. What was going wrong in that movie, there would be a little bit of that in real life. Thanks, JP. Better go look after yourself. Oh, I am. I am looking after myself better than I ever have before because I finally have the motivation. I think I finally got old enough to realize stop being a kid. Look after yourself. Get healthy. And then when I decided I'm sick of being unhealthy, and then I decided, oh, but I don't want to just get healthy. I want to get uber healthy. I started looking into science all the way down to the cellular level and understanding that whole world, those processes. Man, I'm enjoying it. Kind of like what's the healthiest thing I can eat today? And I do that, and I feel like, haha, I win. You know, it's like getting past another hurdle. Feel good when you get over it. I'm like, oh, I don't ever want to go back. And I always say, hey, but everybody's got to get there in their own time. I got there. I got there many times in my life, and now I'm like, I am sick and tired of being one of the unhealthiest people in the room, which isn't that hard to do today. Our society is very unhealthy, and it's not even their fault. It's our leaders. By leaders, I mean whoever makes things. It's their fault. They make foods for us. Even healthy foods are horrible for us for the most part. If you're buying some healthy thing that somebody made and put in a box or a bag, you look into it, you're like, oh, this isn't healthy at all. This is making me decay in a cellular level. But if I just do this instead, you got to look into it, and that's hard to do in this day and age as well. We're being distracted from every angle. Everybody in this planet is trying to get your attention some way or another. A ding, a notification, a hey, look over here. You like penises? Here's a penis. You know, all that stuff everywhere. Who's got time to think about what they're putting into their body when it's so easy and yummy to put something horrible for you? Oh, it looks like I've been streaming a long time, you guys. And the internet's starting to say, hey, things are getting thinned out here a little bit. And man, this has been one of my longest streams in a very long time. How long has it been? A long time. I can't see. But I want to thank you guys for your support. This channel really needs support right now. So thank you guys for those super chats just like that. Pranakasha Productions. What?
Show no mercy. We fight for the glory of Avis.
Yes, we do. I Roll Junkie. JP's new Cosmo funk band. With a heart now on Spotify. And that heart is a heart of gold. Disco gold. Coming soon to Spotify. Thank you very much for keeping this channel going. We're just trying to make it as long as until June 2nd. Hopefully you'll be able to keep the lights on until June 2nd. Because once June 2nd's here, I think we're going to be fine for a couple months. And we got a lot to talk about, a lot to experience, a lot of deep dives into life, into what it is to be a human, and what it is to be an Orville fan. And what it is to be an Orville fan, it is wonderful. So thank you guys again. Check out all the things. Click on the support links. We need you here. And I'll see you very soon. And as always, I hope all your times are Orville-tastic and Egotastic fun times. See you soon.